that keeps you up at night?
Um, why pick just one? Girl, it's all terrible. It's terrible. But you know what really makes me angry is when they rename things that exist. Like, they're going to come after holidays soon. They already came after the Gulf of Mexico. And, they're renaming all of the things that were, named for our native siblings after. Go ahead and switching them back to the Confederate generals and stuff like that makes me feel insane. Everything else I can see the logic of, and that I see the logic of it, but it's also just like it's the biggest nanny boo-boo that it really gets under my skin.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we are celebrating journalism tonight.
Yeah.
And yet there are a lot of journalists. In fact, as I was walking into this venue today, one of my former colleagues texted me and said, "My company I'm working for is a sinking ship. Please let me know if you know anybody looking."
Yeah.
So it's all good and well for us to be celebrating amazing journalism, but how do we fix this elephant in the room?
We're not going to fix the elephant in the room. What's going to happen is the way we consume entertainment and instruction and news is evolving. And so it's going to be a time of growth, and we'll see what comes out on top. And ultimately, hard work will win.
It's interesting that you mentioned Walter Cronkite, because it's sort of, we think that this is the only time journalism has had a crisis and the industry has had a crisis. But during his era, they also didn't have it figured out.
They didn't, but now we at least have him as a that whole era as a map to hold on to. I find myself being like, well, it got bad before, and everything turned out better. So maybe if we hold on. No, absolutely not. God, that movie came out right when everyone was right when things got pretty bad. And I remember being like, I can't live this life and then watch that on TV. No. Yeah.
Well, what are you most looking forward to for this evening?
Backstage treats.
Oh. Spill the tea. What are backstage treats? Can I have some?
Gummy bears.
Can you bring some for us?
Okay.
Great. Okay, we're holding her to that. Thank you so much. Have so much fun. Marika, hello. Welcome to Helmet to Heels. We do fit checks and fact checks.
Ooh.
So tell us about your fit, and then tell me, including this, and then tell me what news story is top of mind.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, this is what is it? Chiara Labona.
Chiara Laboni.
There you go.
Chiara
Thank
Boni.
you. Yeah.
Oh, I love her stuff.
Yeah. This is her thing.
Yeah.
This is a Silver Circle Award, which means those of us who have been in the television industry business for 35 years plus, we received this award thanks to the great nomination of wonderful mentors and colleagues. And in my case, I've been in the television industry for 40 years, and so.
Here for 40 years, but you literally don't look a day over 25.
Oh, well, that's really nice. But I really appreciate this because this really is an acknowledgement and celebration for my colleagues who I've been in the trenches with for a very long time.
Let's give us the shoes too. Look at these shoes.
Oh, thank you. Oh, Stuart Weitzman.
You look like an Emmy.
Oh, I was thinking the same thing when I picked yellow. I was like, I'm going to walk in here looking like an Emmy. Expression of how I feel. So yellow is the color today.
I love it. So tell us what news story is top of mind. What's the fact check that you want the audience to know?
Oh, well, the fact check, what's really important is for those of us who are in the trenches of journalism, we put our heart and soul into it. We are truth seekers, we are storytellers. The idea is that we are revealing information to the masses. And so we've got a lot of competition these days with mediums that are not sticking to fact and truth, but we are here to stay. We are here with brotherhood and sisterhood, and we got to keep going and moving in the right direction to tell brilliant stories.
How do you hang on to your femininity when the headlines are so grim?
How do I hang on? Well, I'm a woman, so it is innate. And I have amazing role models, as in my mother and my grandmother, and so many beautiful women who are studied, who are dogged, and who take care of themselves. And so I try to take care of myself as well.
Thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back to our red carpet coverage. We love this fabulous fit check. We do fit checks and fact checks at Helmet to Heels.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Tell us about what you were thinking when you got dressed today.
This is a suit that I had made for me. I started a few years ago, going to a tailor who, it was the same price. And so I have my suits now made. It's got my name in it, which is kind of cool.
Here in New York?
No, it's in Atlanta. Yeah.
Oh, my hometown.
Oh, really? You're from Atlanta?
Yes, I'm an ATL girl.
Yes,
Go Braves.
Yes, I'm from Atlanta.
And we have the World Cup.
Oh, yes, that's right. The World Cup is coming up. It's going to be very exciting. And so, no, we're excited. I'm nominated tonight for 2 entries for Best. And so I'm with.
What stories are those?
So the stories, it turns out they're the same 2 stories. They're for ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis. One story is revisiting Emmett Till and the 70 years later, and we went back on a train ride with his cousin to Mississippi. And then the second story, the Voting Rights Act and the overturning of it. This was before it happened. We interviewed a woman who had spent her whole life sort of fighting for this. Both stories aired on ABC News Live Prime. Both stories did extremely well on social. Our VRA story had, I think, like 7 million views when you combine TikTok with YouTube and all the others. And so we're really excited tonight. I'll be honest, I'm up against some people in our own company at National Geographic for Best Writing. I do know, and I'll say this, and feel free to use it. This is my 4th nomination for Best Writing. A few years ago, when I was my first one, writing is my thing. The folks at the Emmys told me then that if I had won then, and that was in 2020 or 2021, that I would have been the first black writer to win in the writing category at the News and Documentary Emmys, that Ed Bradley, who had won many Emmys, had never won that one. If that happens tonight, that would be the case. I've tried checking with them to see if that's the case. So I don't think it's going to happen, but if it does, I'd be ecstatic.
Well, here's all of the gold dust.
Okay.
All of the fairy dust.
I'll take it.
I think it's fascinating to be talking to you about your work being recognized for writing in the era of AI.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. Let me dry up.
Are you worried that your writing is in jeopardy?
So, I think it's a fabulous question, and if I'm gonna.
That's why we have journalists on the red carpet.
No. So, if you see here.
Ooh, we're getting the scoop on his remarks.
That's, something.
I urge everyone in this new age, something I don't think the machines will be able to copy. The setup of the emotion that helps deliver the information.
The key, in my opinion, is to do more than look and say the sky is blue. To do more than just say, here's a train passing by. I think that when we tell a story,
Amen.
Right, and that's and personally want to encourage everyone in our business to focus on the storytell even more, because the machines they can't copy human emotion and experience and notes to the past. I'll give you an example. And I'm sorry if I'm talking too long.
No, there's no such thing.
Okay. The first piece I was nominated for writing was a piece called, it was Facing Racism. It was a Nightline piece. And it was where the head of the Ku Klux Klan lived, and we're throwing a picnic.
Wow.
And we went to that town, and there were the Confederate, folks passed by the picnic, and they were throwing to the crowd. The line I wrote was that the only thing these guys are bringing to the picnic was their middle fingers. No machine is going to think of that.
For now, though.
For now.
Because they could be, how do we know they're not training on your script?
We'll see.
And ending up as clever as you. That's the issue.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
You make a good point. I hope that that's not the case. I don't see it at this point.
Yeah.
But I just know that I have been encouraging that the best thing to beat AI in terms of script writing is to be bespoke.
Yes,
like this
your
suit. Right.
Oh,
like this suit.
That was
yes,
so helmet to heels approved. Steve, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Yes. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Rage Against the Machines. That appears to be what we are up against at these Emmys. Stay tuned for more coverage. look fabulous.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
So Helmet to Heels, we blend news, travel, fashion. We have something called Fit Check, Fact Check.
Okay.
So tell us about your outfit and tell us what news story is top of mind for you. What's the fact check that you want the audience to know?
The news story that I'm really following is the big announcement about the slush fund that the White House is creating and the folks who are going to be able to potentially apply and get money from our government. That really concerns me. I'm a civil rights lawyer, and I know how hard African Americans in this country have been fighting for reparations and how many times we've been told there's no money for reparations, and now to think that the government is setting aside $2 billion for people, many of whom have been convicted of crimes, is a story I'm following.
And what is this slush fund supposed to be for?
It's for people who apparently, according to the White House, the government was weaponized against them, i.e. they were prosecuted for crimes that they committed. Many of them were convicted of crimes. So it's a thinly veiled way of incentivizing and gifting public money to allies of the president. So that's the story I'm following.
I mean, with a story like that, you need to go extra on the outfit. Tell us about the outfit.
So the outfit is by a local Los Angeles designer. His name is Eduardo Lucero, and I've been wearing his designs for over 15 years. He's super creative. He does a lot of costume work.
The top and the bottom.
It's the top and the bottom, and it has the slit down the side. And he has been doing a lot of wardrobe work. He does for movies and for film projects, and he's just amazing, just an amazing creative.
I love it. So the bow tie is connected.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, do a little twirl for us. Do a little twirl. I love it. It's giving whimsy.
Yeah.
It's giving whimsy,
like,
but also
they said business formal, so the pants are
Yeah.
business, and this is like, and I'm presenting from the stage, so the white's gonna really pop.
it looks wonderful.
So super excited about that.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. We love creativity in our outfits. Love it. So looking forward to seeing what else is in store for Fit Checks. And later, we'll have all the fact checks covered as we will be seeing who gets awarded the top prizes in journalism this evening. We love your dress. We have something called Fit Check, Fact Check at Helmet to Heels. Tell us about your dress and tell us what is top of mind for you in terms of the news.
Wow, my name is Natasha Zouves. Item number.
It has pockets.
That is the most important thing, honestly. As soon as it had pockets, I was sold. So that was definitely the play for me tonight.
I'm glad you went formal. I know there was a little bit of, do we go business? Do we go semi? I'm glad you've gone formal.
I think always an opportunity to go formal and just to get to celebrate with so many of my heroes and so many of the incredible talents here tonight.
Yeah. So what news story is top of mind for you?
For me, I always have an investigative bent, and so one of the stories that I've been working on is Area 51 veterans who served out in the middle of the desert. Many of them are developing cancer now, and the Pentagon still refuses to acknowledge they even exist. So I've been doing a lot of reporting, fighting on their behalf, and certainly they are top of mind for me. I know they just did a congressional roundtable this week coming out of our reporting, so really proud about that.
That must feel so rewarding when you spend so much time and you actually see the results. And that's why journalism is so important. But, I think the elephant in the room is that journalism is at risk. What are your thoughts?
I think that the fight is more prescient now than ever. And I know everything you just said absolutely resonates with me. I only have one sibling, a little brother, who has severe autism. And I never planned to go into journalism. It was an elective class. I walked in and it said journalism gives voice to the voiceless on the whiteboard. And something went right to my heart where I thought, I didn't even know this was something that people could do for a living. So I am honored to be a part of the profession, and we fight for it every single day.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you. So powerful, giving voice to the voiceless and being inspired to do so on such a personal level. Red carpet coverage continues. Hello. Hi, congratulations.
Thank you so much, appreciate it.
So we're with Helmet to Heels. We have something called Fit Check, Fact Check. So we want to know about your outfit, and then we want to know about why you're here.
I am here because my show called Trafficked, it's a National Geographic show about black markets, has been nominated for 25 Emmys. So it's a great night for myself and my team. We're very happy to be here representing. And my outfit, this is a Sandro suit and an and what else? And
Beautiful.
yeah, it is pretty, right?
What is Alejandra's story?
She's a wonderful stylist in Miami, and she also makes jewelry, and she's a friend, and she sent me this piece to wear.
I love it.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Tell us about your trafficking piece. What inspired you to do this story?
So I'm a journalist. I've been covering black markets for the past 20 years, and the show is all about black markets. So guns, immigration, drugs. These are issues that affect every single one of us on a daily basis, and that's what the show is about.
Why do you think it resonated so well?
Why we did 5 seasons, I'm not entirely sure. I never in a million years thought there would be an investigative show about black markets that will last that long, but it did. And I think partly it's because it's an access show. We're giving people an opportunity to see parts of the world that they've never gotten a chance to see. And I do think the issues are important, but as dark as it seems, I think it's also uplifting because it's about humanity, right? It's about getting to know one another. It's about less judgment and more empathy. That's very much part of the journalism I do, and I think that's why it resonates with people.
How much do you think I think being a woman and maybe coming at these stories from a feminine lens sort of affected your journalism?
Yeah, I think being a woman is my superpower. I think as women, we're often underappreciated, and I think people also see us usually as less threatening, but little do they know. And
that helps with the access.
Absolutely. And I think, as you know well, we as women have more empathy than men. We tend to have more empathy, and I think that's really helped the journalism that I do and sort of gain access to these worlds.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Fascinating, and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi, Charlie. Hello. I love your dress. So we have something called Fit Check, Fact Check. So we want to hear about your outfit, and then also hear about your work and why you're here, and what news story is keeping you up at night, and what fact checks do the people need to know? All of the things.
Well, my dress is Selassie, and she's an amazing, incredible up-and-coming London designer. So I'm in the States, and I live in the States, but I'm British at heart, so I wanted to wear a British London designer.
Oh, yes.
How long have you got? Quick story.
Yeah.
Long story short, 10 years ago I was on life support, so it's incredible I'm here. I was in a coma, and that's the angel that saved my life. That's tattooed the back of my leg.
Wow, show it. Wow.
Actually, 10 years in August, I nearly lost my life, so it's incredible to be here. I got malaria and ended up with multiple organ failure. So
Where did you get malaria?
So another long story, I cycled from London to Rio for charity, and I cycled 3,000 miles and then made it to the top of Christ Redeemer and then fell ill within 48 hours, and so I got malaria and a few other things in Brazil. So it's huge for me to be here, to be wearing a dress, having been through something like that.
Wow.
I bet you didn't expect that one.
No, not really.
So back to my dress.
That was a pivot.
Because you'll probably get like some deep layered story. Well, firstly, I felt like kind of indestructible. I'm like, nothing can be as bad as what I've gone through, and I'm going to make every single day count. We actually only die once, and we live every single day, and I want to make sure it matters. And so it drove me to have more impact and to make sure that like I didn't get restricted from telling the stories that I think really touch people. And I feel like what I'm here for tonight, the creator of Scamander, it really did impact a lot of people around the world.
Yeah, tell us about Scamander. It's a wild story.
Thank you. So Scamander is about a woman who faked cancer, but she didn't lie about having cancer. She faked cancer, and she actually went to hospitals, was part of trials. She fainted in church, and she manipulated a whole community in around San Jose area, but actually online. And she was the heyday of blogging. So through her blog, she affected people all online, and she went to survivor groups, and people donated a lot of money and got really behind her. And it turned out she actually never had cancer, but the story really is about manipulation.
But how do you fake cancer? Like, how do you fake cancer in trials?
Somebody who is, really deeply, I think, believes that maybe there's something there themselves. So I think she believed her own story, but she did. But she shaved her own head, and like she did go to hospital for other things, and then said she was in there for hospital for other things than cancer, and said she was there for cancer, and like took photos of herself hooked up to machines, and then posted them and wrote incredibly beautiful blog posts. A very good writer, very good storyteller, and it touched people all over the world.
How did you?
There's another female in the story called Nancy, and Nancy believed that Amanda didn't have cancer, and so it's about these two women that kind of went head to head at each other. And Nancy told me about what was going on, and I was like, wow, okay, hang on a second, can I look at these blog posts? And there's thousands and thousands of blog posts, and I was like, so you're telling me this woman doesn't have cancer? And at the time, she hadn't been sentenced or anything, and so I started to look into it, and instead of being like, oh, this is a fake a cancer story, to me it was a story of like, yeah, like the why, and actually
what
like...
was the moment that you, because surely, like, did you at first think, oh, like, of course this is real, like, what do you mean somebody is faking cancer? So what was the moment where you realized, okay, actually, no, she really is faking it?
That's a great question, because to start with, I was like, no, she's so convincing. I had so many pictures, hundreds and hundreds of pictures, thousands of blog posts, where I was reading her story, and I was like, hang on, I know about what's going on behind the scenes here. She was being investigated, but, wardrobe is up. That's what happens when you wear these like slinkies. And so the moment I think was like, actually I spoke to the detective, and he was like, no, we're trying to get this woman, but it's really hard. And that the crime is very interesting side of it, because it's, you just think, oh, she'd just get arrested, but behavioral crimes are very hard to convict. So they couldn't get her because of HIPAA laws. And so they were even like not getting information about her. And then it was like, okay, it must be true because there's a detective involved. And then it started to unravel, and I heard stories about like things that have been done to her stepdaughter and, you know, friends. And then I was like, okay, this friendships, relationships, and how easy it can be to be coerced and manipulated into believing something.
Well, you are the epitome of a fit check, fact check.
Thank you very much. And by the way, I want to say I've got a vintage YSL bag as well.
Oh, look at this. Wow.
I wanted to finish on something a little bit lighter.
Yes, this is beauty. What a beauty. Yes, Helmet to Heels definitely approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Lovely chatting.
You too.
Thank you.
You know, when I came up with Fit Check, Fact Check, some of the fact checks that have come my way literally defy my wildest dreams, and this Scamanda story is one of them. We're definitely going to have to collectively watch this. Stay tuned for more. Good to see you. Congratulations on such an amazing event.
Thank you. I'm so glad you could be here a part of it.
Yes, well, Helmet to Heels is thrilled to interview you for our Fit Check, Fact Check series. So tell us about your Fit Check, and then tell us for your Fact Check, what story is top of mind for you? What is the Fact Check that you need the audience to know?
Well, I think the biggest thing of my Fit Check is that I'm wearing the tie I got married in.
That's so special.
So that's probably the highlight.
That's your something blue.
That's my something blue, and then I'm joined. Actually, here it's pocket square. So, and the Emmy pin. So I think I am appropriately accessorized
You
for
are
the evening.
definitely wearing your values,
Yep.
wearing the story.
And I think that's what tonight is all about. It is a celebration of everything the First Amendment protects when it comes to freedom of the press. I think that the Emmys are all about fostering and recognizing excellence in journalism. And one way we do that is by shining a spotlight on what that excellence looks like. The stories, the people behind the stories, both in front of the camera, behind the camera, the people who tell the stories, to show what it means when we have allowed
On air on MS Now on Katie Tur's show before I raced over here to start this red carpet coverage. Shebang. People were quite literally muzzled, no internet up until today. And so this work is really important here. Now my question is, so all of this amazing journalism is only as good as the audience that it reaches. How big of a deal is it that you are partnered with YouTube this year?
I think it is a reflection of the increased accessibility of journalism and of media. A century ago, if we rewind the clock, there was a very tight control of the media that was purely a technological one. Journalism was entirely a function of who controlled the presses, who controlled the transmitters. That the ability for journalism to reach an audience was entirely a question of control of publication. Now, a lot of those barriers have been removed. We're honoring YouTube creators like Johnny Harris tonight, Jorge Ramos, who's a Lifetime Achievement winner as a traditional media correspondent at Univision, but now is also an independent creator. That barrier of access to production, access to distribution has been removed. And now the access to the journalism at a time when 1 in 5 Americans live in a community that do not have a local journalism source, no newspaper, no radio station, no television station, they at least have access to online sources for national news and so on, though we still need to fix that local component.
A lot of people get their news from short form content. Is there going to be a world where the Emmys starts to, kind of recognize short form journalism?
So right now there is no minimum length requirement in any of the categories, just the same way as there is no platform requirement. There is no rule in the rule book that says this category is only for content that airs on a piece of furniture in the corner of the living room. So I imagine we will start seeing more and more short form content coming into many of these traditional categories as more and more journalists start using that format as a mechanism for telling their stories.
Adam, thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Susan.
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, that wraps and marks the end of our red carpet coverage. We invite you to watch the full Emmys ceremony on YouTube, on C-SPAN for broadcast, and C-SPAN's YouTube, as well as the Emmys channels. That's it for Newsnight. Thank you for joining us. I'm Suzanne Kianpour from Helmet to Heels.
To tonight's Emmy Lifetime Achievement honoree, ABC's Martha Raddatz. Who's made a career of fearless reporting on the front lines in countries where journalists are often killed for doing what we all do for a living. We see you.
To the reporters at last month's White House Correspondents' Dinner, who bolted from their chairs amid gunfire and rushing by bicycle or Uber or any means possible to get to the studio and cover the breaking news they'd just witnessed firsthand. We see you.
And to the journalists on and off camera, working in a growing environment of hostility, now fully expecting to be fired for reporting facts that might have their corporate bosses or the powerful in Washington angry, we see you too.
We see everyone in the room tonight for whom the First Amendment is not just a line in a founding document, but a guarantee of protection when reporting uncomfortable stories. And we want to welcome our friends from the Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press, a nonprofit we've partnered with for tonight's News Emmys, which provides legal support and advocacy for journalists.
Because the First Amendment is the lifeblood of our profession, tonight we're asking you to help us protect it too. Tonight, the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences Foundation is officially launching our brand new First Amendment initiative.
That's right. With your help tonight, we are establishing a permanent endowment dedicated to protecting, promoting, defending, and furthering the cause of press freedom.
Starting right now, we're establishing a permanent endowment offering financial support and scholarships for students pursuing careers in investigative and frontline journalism, and a network of mentors to help journalists navigate First Amendment challenges.
We're also establishing curriculum, forums, and programming to share ideas and information. Journalists helping other journalists, a concept that's more critical now than ever.
We can all agree on that. This is where you come in. The strength of the First Amendment, of course, depends entirely on those who are willing to defend it. We have a room full of those people here tonight. I just know it. So help us. If you can, pull out your phones and scan the QR code that you see on your screen right there behind us, and you can help us launch the most important initiative in the history of the Emmy Foundation.
Please scan that code. It'll take you directly to the information and donation page of the Natas Foundation, where you can become part of the founding circle of the First Amendment Initiative.
We need the most powerful voices in our industry, all of you, to help protect those with the quietest voice, because their voices are often the first to be silenced.
Thank you, and best of luck tonight.
Call from the local investigator.
As multiple wildfires burn at this hour.
Debris collapsing right now.
Has just been devastated.
This is what I've done for over a decade. The world knows how far we've come.
Anybody can tell you rights are never given. People have to say, I demand my right.
These safe houses didn't exist, where would you be?
Ocasiones, el frío es extremo.
An all-out search for survivors by water.
How many of you lost one of your parents?
Cerrada comunidad le tiende una mano.
Su objetivo es enviar un mensaje.
Here's where the helicopter came down the river. Here's where the airplane came up the river.
Under arrest, legal from day one.
Pues claro, es algo
very real. All these women have sacrificed an incredible amount of time.
Interviewing dozens of people.
And I wonder why you.
Which is it?
Historic day in the Middle East.
It's not a dream.
What do you do when you can't afford to fight it?
Welcome to the 47th Annual News and Documentary Awards News Night. Please welcome your host for the evening, Amber Ruffin.
Yeah, who says the news can't be crazy? Welcome to the 47th Annual News and Documentary Emmy Awards. News night, baby! I'm your host for tonight, Amber Ruffin. Unless you have a bad time, then I'm your host, Candace Owens. Thanks for having me. It is truly an honor to be here tonight. I'm so excited to celebrate the amazing television journalism that has been produced this year. Frickin' journalism, the fourth estate, the lifeblood of democracy. The original Grok, is this true? It's frankly awe-inspiring to be in the same room with so many accomplished reporters, writers, researchers, producers, crew, and support staff. Tonight, I will pull each of you aside and ask the same question. It's not that bad, is it? Our theme tonight is the First Amendment, which still exists. Okay, it's still here. Better roll around in it while you got it. It has never been more fragile than it is now. The First Amendment protects our rights to free speech, to freedom of religion, to peaceable assembly, and of course, to the freedom of the press. Now, if you want to clap for yourselves, you might as well. Interestingly, James Madison's first draft of the amendment didn't mention freedom or religion or peaceful assembly, but it was very clear about the freedom of the press. His original pitch read, "The people shall not be deprived or abridged of their right to speak, to write, or to publish their sentiments. And the freedom of the press, as one of the great bulwarks of liberty, shall be inviolable." And then, in the true spirit of journalism, his editors had some notes. As an American, you're allowed to say what you want unless you spell it out in seashells, which, in that case, you are a terrorist and you are going to jail. Lately, it's felt like the First Amendment is under pressure. There's pressure from the government for favorable coverage. There's pressure from corporations not to rock the boat. There's pressure from crazy people with guns to, I don't know, who has time to read all those manifestos? Under this growing pressure, journalists have been beaten, arrested, and even killed for the simple act of showing up to work. It takes enormous courage to keep doing your jobs under these conditions, and you haven't let it get to you. You have not bowed to the pressure, and you have continued to do great, important work despite everything working against you, and for that, you deserve to be celebrated. Yeah, I'll get in on that. By the way, I know we have a few execs in the room, so if you have bowed to that pressure, if you are censoring your newsroom so as to not piss off the wrong people, please take a look around you at the courage of your colleagues. In order to stay professional, oh man, what it must be like to be you in this here moment. In order to stay professional, they can't tell you what they think of you. But I can. You are wholly without courage or conviction. You are aiding in the downfall of this society. And please, may I borrow some money? Because eventually you're going to be the only people who have any. Now, we have an incredible show lined up for you tonight. Later on, we'll be presenting the Lifetime Achievement Award to ABC News Chief Global Affairs Correspondent, Martha Raddatz. In her decades-long career, Martha has gone toe-to-toe with some of the most powerful people in the world. She's got to be one of the most intimidating Marthas there is. It goes her, Martha Stewart, Batman's mom, and whoever named The Vineyard. A lot of iconic shows are nominated tonight. Frontline, Dateline, Nightline. Any more lines, and Don Jr. is going to show up. I mean, probably not. He's on his honeymoon. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the fact that for a lot of you, this is the first time you've been together since last month's White House Correspondents' Dinner. Obviously, that was a very scary night. Knowing you were potentially seconds away from having to make small talk with Kash Patel, I couldn't imagine. You are truly the best of us. But journalists are resilient. Journalists are committed. Journalists will not let the threat of violence keep them from free drinks. So you know you had a few. It was a tough year for news. There were horrifying acts of mayhem. In a new war, unchecked corruption, devastating natural disasters, and on top of all that, somebody cheated on Megan Thee Stallion. Oh, Father, it is enough to make you want to give up entirely. But again, this is a room full of people who see that and they run towards the danger, not away from it. Y'all have lost sleep, worked late, missed family milestones, and in many cases, put yourselves in physical danger to report the news. It's a job that takes incredible bravery, especially now. Now, I make fart jokes on television, so we're all heroes, all right? I know how you feel. Of course, it wasn't just outside events that made this year tough. This year, journalism itself was the story. I'm talking about the upheaval in the news business itself. At a time when people are more interested in the news and politics than ever before, the journalism business is facing so many hurdles, and no one knows why. I actually saw a report around it. Well, I didn't see a report. I read the Google AI summary of the report, which didn't even link me to the original. Anyway, it's a total mystery why journalism is struggling. Tonight, our nominees are the best at what they do. So if you're here, you're in good company. Also, by the end of the night, we will all work for the same company. It's called Warner, Mount, Meta, Thropic, Pornhub, NVIDIA, Pringles, and it's based in Bahrain. Good company. But amid all these mergers, journalism has thrived. Give it up for 60 Minutes, right? Good for them. I will let you know how many Emmys they're nominated for, but that number needs to be approved by the White House, so. I'm only saying that because Barry Weiss isn't here, you know. Unless she is here, in which case, girl, I love what you're doing. Cool glasses, girl power. Oh my God, I broke in like 2 seconds, and she's not even the president's. Resistance is hard. And all of this uncertainty in our business makes your job even more difficult. It's hard to do your job when you're worried about your job. I get it. I work in late night comedy, for God's sake. That reminds me, could everyone do a favor and look under your seat right now? Just a quick peek. Okay, good. I just want to make sure Brendan Carr isn't hiding under there. That fragile little wiener just loves checking up on people's jokes. Hey, let's throw him off the scent. As a straight woman, I love nagging my husband. He loves that shit. The good news is the news business has some problems, but it seems like everyone's got solutions. Podcasts, brand integrations, TikTok, something called Claude, which I assume is the ghost of a Victorian child who does spell check. Everyone's got a fix, so I thought, why not me? So here tonight, I feel like I'm just as qualified to fix the news business as some of these ding-dongs in charge. So here are my big journalism business ideas. Number one, Abby Phillip. I love your show. Yeah. She knows she's cute. Abby, I love your show, but it's missing one thing. Hungry, hungry hippos. Everybody's already gathered in a circle, yelling, slapping the table. Might as well put some marbles in that mug and see what's good. So watch your ratings increase with my idea. Number two, CBS CBS Evening News said they want to stop listening to experts and start listening to real Americans. That's why I think we need a news broadcast that's made for, by, and about the realest Americans there is. The white ones. Oh, crazy. That's not true. The opposite. Waffle House patrons. And Waffle House workers. It doesn't get realer than that. And number 3, a 24-hour streaming channel that plays nothing but Keith Morrison frickin' leaning against a brick wall talking about, that all turned out to be a lie. Woo! I get goosebumps. And finally, speaking of goosebumps, I have 3 words for you. Shirtless, David Muir. Those are my ideas. Run, run, children, live. You can have any of those for free. If none of that works, I guess these companies could try, I don't know, paying journalists what they're worth, protecting the independence of our news divisions, and standing up to blatantly political intimidation. Worth a shot. I don't know. What you want? What you want? I just want to say it plainly. What's happening out there is crazy. You are all being attacked day and night, sometimes literally, for the crime of trying to inform your fellow citizens about what's going on. What you do is important. It's just as important to take some time and reflect on your accomplishments, and that's why we're here tonight. So you put your hearts and souls into your work this past year, and you deserve a night to get a little drunk. If you're being honest, you are. I see your little wobbly eyes. It's a crazy time to be a journalist, yes, but no matter what's going on out there, tonight you are all here, you are all together, you look cute as hell, so let's get it started. Y'all ready? Me too. Our first presenter of the night is someone you usually don't want to see in your town. Normally, if you see this man, it means you're supposed to be sheltering in place at a Waffle House. Currently celebrating his 40th year with the Weather Channel, please welcome Suzanne Kianpour.
When they asked me to do this, they didn't tell me I was following Amber, so that was nice. All right, man, it's been a heck of a ride, I'll tell you that. When I travel, though, across this country, as part of my storm coverage for the Weather Channel, I often see people facing some of the most stressful and traumatic days of their lives. A storm is coming, or it has already ripped through their town, leaving destruction in its wake. And folks, I have a lot of needs. You know, they have a lot of needs. Okay, let's start with clean water. Let's go with a place to sleep, a meal, a charge for a cell phone that they can call their parent or their child and say, hey, I'm okay, I made it, okay? The house isn't great, but I made it. But just as important, they need information. They need to know what the storm system is doing. If there's another one on the horizon, are evacuation orders in effect? And when will they be lifted? Where can they go to get that clean water or that charge for their cell phone? It's a lot of responsibility to help provide that information, and it's also a privilege. The journalists nominated for tonight's new categories, Outstanding Social Issue Coverage, Outstanding True Crime Coverage, and Outstanding War or Violent Conflict Coverage, produced work this year that takes the responsibility seriously. And it is an honor to present those Emmys right now.
The nominees in Outstanding Social Issue Coverage are Black Market Love, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media. Crackdown, Deported Under Trump. Fault Lines, Al Jazeera International USA. Fighting to Serve, Evident Media. Justice Defenders, Change Inside Prison. The Whole Story with Anderson Cooper, CNN Worldwide. Murder Has Two Faces, ABC News Studios. The Rise of America's Ice Towns, Bloomberg Originals.
Wow. All right, here we go. There are 2 winners in this category. All right? And the first Emmy goes to Black Market Love, Tracking It with Marina Van Zeller and Muck Media.
Accepting the Emmy, executive producer Mariana Van Zeller.
If houses didn't exist, where would you be?
Nowhere.
Under the new bill, renting to an LGBTQ person is punishable by 7 years in prison. And if the operators of these safe houses are found guilty of promoting homosexuality, they can face up to 20 years.
Viajante everywhere. We are confined.
Hi, everyone. Thank you all. I'll try to make this fast since we're splitting this one. Congratulations to the next winner as well. This is bittersweet for us. Obviously, this is the last season of Trafficked. I allowed myself to be sad for a couple of days, and then I was just filled with gratitude. Gratitude to National Geographic for supporting the work that we do, for giving me my dream job. Never in a million years did I think that we'd get 5 seasons of an investigative journalism show about black markets, but we got there, so thank you. Gratitude for my incredible team, all of them, so many of them out there too. So many of them were with us since episode 1 of Trafficked, and this is truly the dream team. I mean, a special thank you here to Jeff Allen, who is our hire #1 on Trafficked, and my indispensable, and my first hire also on my new news endeavor. I'm going to plug it here, the hidden third. A special gratitude also for Jeff Plunkett, our incredible, the best storyteller I think the world has ever seen. Also, the showrunner of Trafficked, and my partner at Muck Media, and my other very, very, very sexy partner at Muck Media. And I can say this because he's also my husband, Darren Foster, my consigliere and champion #1. And I mean, enormous gratitude for all the heroes in this room. I'm going to get weepy here. But you guys, the work that you do has really inspired me to pursue my dreams, and still inspires me for the fearless reporting you all do at a time when we need this more than ever. If there's one lesson I've learned by doing Trafficked, is resolve. If we surround ourselves with good people, with a shared mission, nothing is impossible. And just one last thing. My first boss in journalism taught me a lesson. His name was Ron McCullough, and he was British. And he told me that rule #1 in journalism is don't work with assholes. But because he was British, and this will get me banned from the Academy forever. Oh, and thank you to the Academy. Don't work with cunts. Thank you all.
All right. The second Emmy goes to Crackdown, deported under Trump. Fault Lines, Al Jazeera International USA. Congratulations.
Accepting the Emmy, senior producer Jeremy Young.
O sea que en Estados Unidos agarraban a la gente y la metían presa, la desaparecían, la llevaban de un lugar a otro. Y eso que hicieron con nosotros, eso fue como un secuestro.
I find it troubling for Venezuelans fleeing mistreatment in their home country. They come to the United States, a beacon of hope and prosperity, only to find themselves in a worse position than they were going to be in Venezuela.
Hey, sorry for the delay. We were in the cheap seats upstairs. It took us a little bit of time. I want to thank everyone who worked on this project: Rafi Mustafa, Layla El Arian, Natasha Del Toro, Warwick Mead, Joel Van Haren, Amina Waheed, Victor Tadashi, Jindal Delgado, Ferminia Hernandez, muchas gracias por todo su trabajo. I just want to say that in our work, there's a clear current, there's a clear narrative, and that's what's happening to immigrants in this country is not okay. And I implore every journalist, every leader, every filmmaker in this room, use your voice, use your platform, and speak up. Thank you.
The nominees in Outstanding True Crime Coverage are Cartel USA, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media. Hey Beautiful, Anatomy of a Romance Scam, ABC News Studios. The Philippines Mayor with a Dark Secret, Bloomberg Investigates, Bloomberg Originals. Return to the Lake, Dateline NBC, NBC News. Scamanda, ABC News Studios. Wicked Game, Devil in the Desert, ABC News Studios.
All right, and the winner is Wicked Game, Devil in the Desert, ABC News.
Accepting the Emmy, Executive Producer Eamon McNiff.
This is a great surprise. Thank you, wonderful surprise. But this is a one-of-one story and a one-of-one effort from an incredible team. Really, you know, this award is a testament to them. It's a rare moment where everybody comes together and gives everything they can to every inch of this process. And they showed it in all the work they did. And I can't thank enough my collaborators, Katie Muldowney, Jake Lefferman, Sebastian San Miguel, Priya Shah, Isha, Janita Wong, Maggie Schwartz, Brendan Cusack, Alex Garcia, and Dan Nelson. Our leaders, David Sloan and Mike Kelly, Alman Karamedovic, and Debra O'Connell. Thank you guys so much for championing all the work we do. Thank you very much. Thank you.
The nominees in Outstanding War or Violent Conflict Coverage are The Disappearance of Dr. Abu Safiya, Fault Lines, Al Jazeera International USA. Filmed in Gaza, NBC News. Kids Under Fire, Fault Lines, Al Jazeera International USA. The Killing Field, Fault Lines, Al Jazeera International USA. Syria After Assad, Frontline PBS.
All right, and the winner goes to Kids Under Fire, Fault Lines, Al Jazeera International. Congratulations.
Accepting the Emmy, correspondent Josh Rushing.
Different hospitals at different times, they all witnessed a disturbing pattern.
More and more, I started to see children with penetrating injuries like gunshot wounds.
Gunshot came from out of nowhere. Your kid was just playing on the playground and got shot.
That's it, one wound. It seemed like every day we had at least a child coming in with a gunshot wound. At some point, I thought, God, this just can't be. There has to be a mistake.
Most of the time, you have a gunshot wound to the head.
Ruffin. All right, guys. Thank you. I love you. I love this moment. I love all of you guys. Sorry that took so long. But I'm here now. I've got something to say. The irony of accepting an award for covering a genocide from the very country, or in the very country that enables that genocide to have happened and continued, should not be lost here. I want to dedicate this to the 11, thank you, Al Jazeera journalists, the 11 colleagues who have been killed by Israel since October 7th in Gaza, and to their 270 colleagues, journalists, who have been killed in Gaza since October 7th. I want to acknowledge the dozens of doctors who have given up rich, successful lives here to risk everything and go to Gaza and try to help and to realize that maybe the broadsword of the truth and bearing witness is stronger than the scalpel that they bring to the battlefield. And they came back and they bore witness in this peace, and because of them, the 4-year-old little girl, Mira, who had a bullet lodged in her brain in our film, is today in Mexico City receiving help with her mother, Isra, who lost her leg while we were filming this. These are dark days for journalism. We're either collapsing under the financial pressures or we're being bought by oligarchic forces that are co-opting the message. But I have to tell you, I have to implore you to keep up the good fight for the truth, the good fight for humanity, because there is no free people without a free press. So keep up the good fight. Thank you.
Our next presenter is the host of MS Now, The Briefing with Jen Psaki, and former White House press secretary for President Joe Biden. Please welcome Jen Psaki.
Good evening, everyone. In some ways, the job of sharing information with the public sounds really simple. Just explain what's going on. Sounds easy, but contained within that simple idea are centuries of craft and tradition and debate and mistakes and corrections that have brought us to what we call journalism today. Because in some ways, it's never been easier to explain the news. There's no shortage of people with a ring light and a laptop who can rehash what they've seen or read the highlights from a New York Times article or tell you what happened on the Sunday shows. But that entire ecosystem can't exist without actual reporting. Journalists who devote time and energy and often put themselves in danger, as is evidenced by all of the awards that have already been given this evening, to tell the stories of people who can't tell their own. Like tonight's nominees who've gone from Tibet to California, from the Sahara to Gaza, from Everest to the heart of Trump country, to get to something true. There's a lot of commentary out there, but there's no replacement for reporting, which is why it's an honor to present these Emmys for hard news and feature reporting.
The nominees in Outstanding Hard News Report, long form are Battle for Tibet, Frontline, PBS. Chasing a Ghost, The Search for Austin Tice, CNN Worldwide. The Hidden Homeless, The Whole Story with Anderson Cooper, CNN Worldwide. $1 Million Highway Heists, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media. The Rise of Germany's New Right, Frontline, PBS.
And the Emmy goes to Chasing a Ghost, The Search for Austin Tice, CNN Worldwide.
Unfortunately, Clarissa couldn't be here tonight because she's heading out on another assignment.
but she wanted me to share these few words with you. A huge thank you for this tremendous honor. Such deep gratitude to CNN and CNN management for allowing me to do this story, and to the amazing team who worked on this piece: Sarah El-Sagani, David Von Blon, Scotty McWinney, Zahara Jabbar, Mike Pratt, and Mark Barron. Clarissa would like to dedicate this award to Austin Tice and to every single one of the more than 136,000 Syrians who disappeared in Assad's dungeons. Thank you very much.
The nominees in Outstanding Hard News Report short form are California Burning, ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, ABC News. Pregnant and Brain Dead, ABC News Nightline, ABC News. The Scope of the Devastation, ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, ABC News. Tortured for Ransom in the Sahara, CNN Worldwide. 2 Nights with the Cartel, ABC News Live, Crime with Lindsay Davis, ABC News. The War in Gaza, 60 Minutes, CBS News.
Wow, incredible. And the Emmy goes to, let's see here, sorry. The War in Gaza, 60 Minutes, CBS News.
Accepting the Emmy, correspondent Scott Kelly.
How many of you lost your home? Almost all of you. How many of you lost one of your parents? This girl suffered a traumatic head injury repaired with a plate in her skull. They bombed my grandfather's house, she told us. This was a story about the heroes that we all cover, those people who make tremendous sacrifices, who risk their lives to relieve the suffering of anyone who may need it. Walking down the aisle just now is Dr. Samer Attar. Samer is an orthopedic surgeon from Chicago who volunteers most of his time in war zones. We've met him in Syria. We met him with the patients from Gaza. He goes to these places to relieve the suffering of the innocent all around the world. And it was such an honor for us to be able to tell his story. Samer, thank you so much. I also must thank my wonderful team, Nicole Young, the producer, Kristen Steve, our associate producer, and Don Lee, our intrepid cameraman who goes to every dangerous place in the world. We are so blessed to be able to do this work, and let's all carry on tomorrow. Thank you very much.
The nominees in Outstanding Light Feature short form are How Activists Fought for Rights for People with Disabilities, Retro Report. The Long Train Ride Home, Remembering Emmett Till. ABC News Live Crime with Lindsay Davis, ABC News. Remembering Captain Pitts, ABC News Nightline, ABC News. Revisiting the Voting Rights Act, ABC News Live Crime with Lindsay Davis, ABC News. View from the Floor, The New York Times Op Docs, View from the Floor, LLC. What Japan's atom bomb survivors have taught us, Retro Report.
And the Emmy goes to What Japan's atom bomb survivors have taught us, Retro Report.
Accepting the Emmy, producer Scott Michaels.
Everybody should understand the devastation of an atomic bomb. It's not like an ordinary bomb.
ただ過去の話ではなかったんですよ。今も世界中が核のリスクにさらされています。自分たちの世界が原爆が使われたら、ただ自分たちの体のこと、命のことだけじゃなくて、みんな地球がダメになる。それを分かっていた。
Thank you so much. We're really honored. I'm accepting this on behalf of a really talented and dedicated team of people. I need to especially thank Retro Report's founder, Chris Buck, who makes everything we do possible, our incredible editor, Ann Scheckler, who made just a beautiful film, and our executive producer, Kira Darton, who deserves your applause and makes everything we do 10 times better, and gave us the opportunity to make this important story. Thank you.
The nominees in Outstanding Light Feature Long Form are America's Care Crisis, ABC News Live, ABC News. I Took Bernie into Deep Trump Country, Can He Win Them Over? More Perfect Union. Operation Baby Lift, The 50-Year Journey, 2020 and ABC News Live, ABC News. The Sherpas of Everest, 60 Minutes, CBS News. The Simrose, A Family in Black and White, The Whole Story with Anderson Cooper, CNN Worldwide.
And the Emmy goes to Operation Baby Lift, The 50-Year Journey, 2020 and ABC News Live, ABC News.
This is amazing footage that I'm seeing for the first time ever. It's my orphanage, and this is footage from Unlock. I'm probably in a crib somewhere.
Oh, so that was the real event when it happened. This is Unlock?
Yeah, I've never seen any kind of footage like this before. I've seen photos online and.
Huh?
Yeah.
So this is where you were?
Yeah, let me fast forward.
I've never seen it.
Sorry, I'm like shaking. Okay. And I'm going to read it because otherwise I don't want to mess this up. History is most precious when those who lived the story are still alive to tell it. We felt the urgent need to document a moment in time that day by day is fading from collective memory. Operation Baby Lift was an international humanitarian effort to adopt at-risk children out of Vietnam just days before the fall of Saigon, April 1975. But tragedy struck the very first flight. Just after takeoff, the cargo rear door malfunctioned and blew open. Some were instantly sucked to their death, with survivors strewn across rice paddy fields as the plane crashed. In the aftermath of tragedy, Baby Lift continued. Thousands of children were successfully airlifted out of the war's final days. We were honored that some of those babies, now adult adoptees, decided to join us tonight, and they're scattered in the crowd. So we're very thrilled with them. "50 years later, those whose lives were changed by that moment in history shared their very personal stories with us, and we were honored with their trust. It would not have been possible without our partnership with ABC News Live. And Seni, where's Seni? Thank you. A good friend. Also, the supportive leadership and environment of excellence created by the leadership at ABC News under Debra and Amin. Special thanks, and they are watching out there on the web, special thanks to Linda, chair of the Pan Am Museum Foundation, as well as Al, Karen, Sister Mary Nell, Peter Greenberg, the former 2020 producer from the 1980s, who emailed me and said, "Have you heard of Baby Lift?" I had. And of course, Jared, Devaki, Carol, Amy, Matt, and all of the adoptees and their families who shared their stories with us. Operation Baby Lift, the 50-year journey, took a lesser-known story from the archives into the light of the present day. Our hope was to preserve memory and foster empathy through this broadcast. As Sister Mary Nell shared with us, how blessed are we to be a part of that? Thank you.
Please welcome the chair of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, Terry O'Reilly.
Thank you and good evening, everyone. It is a real honor to be with you here tonight for this celebration of the very best in television news. And on behalf of all of us at the Academy, I want to say how grateful we all are for the work that fills this room tonight. You know, in physics, there's this concept of that nature abhors a vacuum. You know, that it goes back to Aristotle. Basically means, you know, when things disappear, that something else will naturally rush in to fill the space that is left behind. Well, I'd like to suggest tonight that we're living with that phenomenon right now in the world of journalism. A deliberate effort to create a vacuum and replace real news with something far less noble. Not through a single dramatic act, but through accumulated pressure on institutions, on the very notion that an independent press serves a function that those in power should respect. You know how it's happened because you've lived it. You've watched colleagues being credentialed out of briefing rooms. You have seen your organization sued not to win, but to exhaust. You have covered an era in which terms like enemy of the people and even treason have been applied seriously and repeatedly from the highest office in this nation to the people sitting in this room. I will not pretend for a minute that the press doesn't bear any responsibility for the historic levels of public distrust we have in America today. We have had blind spots, and we have sometimes been a whole lot slower to correct our issues than to publish. They're fair criticisms. We need to take them to heart. We need to reckon with them. But there is a profound difference between a press that is imperfect and a press that is absent. The forces arrayed against journalism right now are not interested in a more accurate press. They are interested in a quieter one. And the history is unambiguous about what happens when you have a quieter press. When independent media was undermined in Hungary, what filled that vacuum wasn't silence, it was content that looked like news, but it functioned like control. And in Germany's Weimar Republic, what rushed in was louder and more certain, and we sure as hell know what that happened. America is not Hungary, and nor are we the Weimar Republic, but I do believe in cause and effect. And when national security reporting is prosecuted, sources go silent and the public goes blind. When briefing room access becomes a political reward, something essential has already been lost. Nearly 250 years ago, the Founding Fathers, when they drafted the First Amendment, didn't enshrine a free press because they particularly enjoyed the company of reporters. I mean, my suspicion is that they was aggravating for them and for every president since, as we've seen, but they put it there because self-governance is impossible without informed citizens, and informed citizens are impossible without a press that is free to be inconvenient, provocative, challenging. The journalism that we honor here tonight is not a partisan act. It is a constitutional one. And this summer, as we celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, a seminal statement in our nation's belief in a really vigorous exercise in free speech and in the freedom of the press. As we approach the semi-quincentennial, a question really worth thinking about is not whether journalism today in America is perfect. It most certainly is not. The question is, should that vacuum become a reality, how's it going to get filled? My ardent hope is that all of you and all of your peers across America will continue to step up to that challenge. And while the struggles that we face today may feel like a unique moment in time, the truth is, it is not. Every generation has faced its own version of this moment. And every generation, it has been journalists like you who have held the line. So thank you, not just for your work, but for your service to this nation, and for your service to its future. Now, speaking of the future of our industry, in addition to honoring achievement in the industry each year, our Academy is deeply committed to identifying and developing our next generation of media creators and leaders. Not that any of us are in a rush to hand that baton off, but as Bob Dylan reminds, the times they are a-changing. We are honored tonight to have a gentleman who, in my mind, is among the best of this generation's journalists to introduce the best of the next generation, the recipients of our Academy scholarships. Please join me warmly in welcoming 60 Minutes correspondent, former evening news anchor, former chief White House correspondent, honored for his achievements in journalism by the DuPont, the Peabody, the Polk and Murrow Awards, and over, well, no, not 40, now it's 41 National Emmy Awards. From CBS, please welcome Scott Pelley.
Boy, there are a lot of formers in there. Friends, I am honored to present the Mike Wallace Memorial Scholarship at this 47th News Emmy Awards ceremony. There have been many great 60 Minutes correspondents over the years. I see Sharon Alfonsi there in the audience. One of our nominees tonight for her great work. But of course, in 1968, Mike Wallace was a founder of 60 Minutes. And toward the end of his nearly 40 years at the broadcast, I had the privilege of working with him. This scholarship, funded by CBS News, is a lasting tribute to Mike's example. Honest, fair reporting, repudiating bias of every kind. This year's Mike Wallace Memorial Scholarship is presented to a young man with Mike's spirit, Santiago Campos of Washington, D.C. Santiago has a talent for in-depth storytelling and a work ethic honed over 4 years of production classes in high school. Whether in front or behind the camera, this student reporter is passionate, careful, and hands-on about the stories that he tells. His mission is to help people understand complex stories that have great social impact and give voice to the voiceless. I think Mike would see something of himself in this year's recipient. Let's have a look at a sample of Santiago Campos's work.
When my father was young, in the 1980s and 90s, the process to cross Border Patrol checkpoints often didn't involve showing papers. They would simply ask you whether or not you were a citizen.
What if one day I say yes and they don't believe me? Because it was purely based on what you looked like. We were poor, we were brown, we didn't have any kind of identity documents that said that we were from here. Mentally, it was a constant threat that we had to encounter anytime we traveled out of this area.
God, how we need these young people. Please welcome this year's Mike Wallace Scholarship recipient, Santiago Campos.
Well, that was me, and that was Scott Pelley, so. First and foremost, I want to thank the Natus Foundation for this award. I want to thank my friends, family, and my teacher, Ashley Porter. She and my mom are in the room tonight. I want to thank them for the resources and the support that I wouldn't be here without. And while I want to thank CBS News for funding this generous gift towards my education, I want to also acknowledge how the recent direction of the outlet stains the legacy of Mike Wallace, the namesake of this scholarship. As corporate elites take hold, over the very pipes through which our information flows, journalism that serves the people becomes increasingly harder to come by, yet ever more crucial. And what the people want is the truth. So if at any time you hesitate to utter the word genocide or remain silent in the face of blatant lies, remember to ask yourself, who is this for? I hope you choose us. Thank you.
Congratulations to Santiago Campos. We look forward to seeing your work in the future. God, we need young people like you right behind us. Thank you. God bless you. I know that Mike Wallace is looking down at you with pride at this very moment. Now on with the show.
Please welcome our next two presenters, an Emmy-winning independent journalist with almost 8 million subscribers on YouTube, and an Emmy-winning independent journalist and former anchor of Noticiero Univision, Johnny Harris and Jorge Ramos.
So, Johnny, I think you're a YouTuber, right?
That's right. You are too, right?
I'm also a YouTuber. I used to be an anchor, but life happens.
Yeah, here we are. Welcome to the future.
Anyway, if you want to join us, you know what to do. Anyway, good evening. We're here to present the Emmys for investigative and breaking coverage. These categories represent two sides of the spectrum. Investigative journalism can take years of hunting down a story, cultivating sources and following leads, and fact-checking, even before it goes on the air, 1 minute before it goes on the air. It takes a lot of determination to stick with the story and see it through.
And just as important is breaking news coverage. We use so much breaking news coverage in the investigative work that we do. And the nominees tonight covered things like war, terror attacks, assassinations, devastating wildfires with passion and care. When news breaks and increasingly convincing and generated misinformation flies around social media, people turn to the people in this room to find trust and truth. In both cases, the investigative and the breaking, whether it was hunting down years of truth and fact-checking to the last second or reporting breaking news with clarity, tonight's nominees have excelled.
The nominees in Outstanding Investigative Coverage, short form, are Death and Hunger, The Fate of Gaza's Aid Seekers, CNN Investigates, CNN Worldwide. Doge Package, The New York Times. ICE Operations Series, CNN Investigates, CNN Worldwide. Investigation, How the Tate Brothers Were Freed from Romania, The New York Times. Poisoned, Fentanyl's child victims, Scripps News. Prison system in crisis, Hallie Jackson now, NBC News.
Ok, vamos a ver. It's going to be in English, don't worry. Dodge package, the New York Times.
Accepting the Emmy, senior producer John Pappas.
This long string of numbers is a unique award ID that identifies each grant within the federal government's bureaucracy. And what we discovered was basically the same kind of error they had been making before. There were 5 of those errors, and just the top 20 largest savings they were claiming, those errors started with the largest item on the list. Doge said it had saved.
I'm going to hand the mic to David Fahrenthold.
Thank you. I have to say, as a print reporter, I had never been to this event before, and I had, on the off chance that I won, had written a speech with some jokes in it. Then I realized this is the kind of event where a documentary about nuclear war was listed as a light feature. Seriously, I want to thank the New York Times, the leaders of the New York Times, the Sulzberger family for their support of investigative reporting and also of new forms of storytelling, new forms of reaching a broader audience. I want to thank the team I worked with, my editor, Jen Forsyth, the New York Times data and Upshot teams. There was a lot of people working on these stories about how Doge was misleading us about the work that it did. Lots of hands on this story. Just that I, for obvious reasons, was the face of that coverage. We also wanted to thank everybody on the New York Times reporter video team, especially Mona Lawani, for their support of this new form of storytelling and this great new form of finding an audience. I just want to say at the end that it has been my dream, along with my colleagues here, to win an EGOT, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. And I feel like we can stop now and say, the hard part is over.
The nominees in Outstanding Investigative Coverage long-form are Brides for Sale, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media. The President's Pardon, 60 Minutes, CBS News. The Prisoners, 60 Minutes, CBS News. Strike on Iran, The Nuclear Question, Frontline, PBS. We had 400 people shop for groceries. What we found will shock you. More Perfect Union.
And the Emmy goes to Strike on Iran, The Nuclear Question, Frontline, PBS.
The enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated.
We've taken out their senior technologists who are leading the race to build atomic weapons.
In collaboration with the Washington Post, Evident Media, and Bellingcat, correspondent Sebastian Walker investigates the aftermath.
Whoa, it's still falling down.
Yeah.
With rare access on the ground.
Did you know who was living there?
Honest man.
Forensic analysis.
If they had penetrated the halls, it would have been catastrophic.
So much for this award. The team is behind me. I just want to thank everybody here on stage. It was a massive investigation. It took everybody's help here. I just want to start off by thanking Rainey Aronson, and Andrew Metz from Frontline, the entire team of Frontline that's upstairs right now. This is for you guys. Thank you so much to Eamon Matthews, to Dan Edge from Mongoose Pictures, my partner in crime, Sebastian Walker, to our DP, Javier Manzano, and our video editor, Drew Pattinson, to Evident Media, our investigative partners, also to the entire team of the Washington Post. Their work was incredible, and to Nilu Tabrizi for her incredible investigative reporting as well. I just want to dedicate this to the people of Iran. We are privileged to be allowed into their homes and to try and tell their story. Thank you so much for this award.
The nominees in Outstanding Extended Breaking News Coverage are Catastrophic Fires, PBS NewsHour, PBS News. Deadly Texas Flash Floods, CNN Worldwide. Fire Emergency in Southern California, ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, ABC News. The Fires, 60 Minutes, CBS News. LA Wildfires, CNN Worldwide.
And the Emmy goes to The Fire, 60 Minutes.
Accepting the Emmy, producer Nicole Marks.
Oh my God.
Zaire Calvin and his family have called Altadena home for 3 generations.
Just wonder if anything's left. The rocking chair for the baby. I literally just built all of this.
Wow, thank you. First, thank you to Bill Whitaker, who's on assignment right now. But Bill conducts interviews with grace and tenacity, as he always does, and for investing so much in this story. Thanks to Bill Owens and Tanya Simon for giving us the resources and the support, and to an incredible team, who's just a few of them are here, but I'm going to name the positions because they're often not named. Producers, APs, BAs, camera and sound crews, and editors, who all brought grit, empathy, and the ability to work on 0 sleep for many days. But most of all, thank you to Tony Goss, Jameer and his dad Zaire Calvin, who was in the clip there. They lost their homes and a family member. You know, you meet these people, they trust you, you're relative strangers, you meet them in the most vulnerable times of their lives, and yet they trust you to tell their stories. Zaire is still displaced 1.5 years later, but he's tirelessly working to try and help rebuild Altadena. We're grateful for their trust, and we're grateful for the ability at 60 Minutes to continue to tell these stories. Thank you.
The nominees in Outstanding Live Breaking News Coverage are American Eagle Helicopter Crash, Morning After, Today Show, NBC News. Charlie Kirk Assassination, CBS News. Gaza peace deal and Israeli hostage release, NBC News Special Report, NBC News. New Orleans terror attack, NBC News Special Report, NBC News. U.S. Army's Grand Military Parade, ABC News Special Report, ABC News.
And the Emmy goes to U.S. Army's Grand Military Parade, ABC News Report, ABC News.
Accepting the Emmy, executive producer Molly Shaker.
Started off celebrating 250 years of the U.S. Army. We go back to the streets of Los Angeles for these protests taking place, and now we are taking viewers to the Middle East. It was just yesterday you and I were talking about the retaliatory attacks. Israel going after Iran, Iran going after Israel. Now we are just getting word and live pictures. This is just.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. 7 years ago, a really small group of people launched this iteration of ABC News Live, literally from like a broom closet at ABC News headquarters, which at the time was just a few blocks from here. In those 7 years, we have turned this group into a formidable team who, on a dime, can turn from covering a parade in Washington, D.C. to robustly covering multiple simultaneous breaking news stories at the same time on both the network and streaming on a summer Saturday night with no scripts. I'm sure a lot of you guys know what that's like. So it's pretty amazing to be up here accepting this. Huge thank you to Debra, OConnell, and Almin for your unwavering support. To Seni Tianabeso, our fearless leader who literally works around the clock to lift this team up every day. And of course, Kira Phillips, the best of the best. I feel so lucky to get to work with you every day. And to the small but mighty team behind this award, many of them up here tonight, and many watching at home, no one does it better, and this is just so well-deserved. To be able to bring people these critically important stories as they're breaking and unfolding in real time is a privilege that we don't take lightly. We learned very early on that if you give us a handful of really good, smart, passionate people, we will find a way. And this is just the beginning. So thank you all.
Coming to the stage, the international correspondent on In the Shadows from Scripps News, Jason Bellini.
Good evening. There's a saying in politics, all politics is local, which just means that if your street has potholes or your trash isn't being picked up, you're going to blame the people in charge, even if they're 3,000 miles away. You could also say all news is local, meaning that if you're well informed about what's happening in your town, if you know why your street has potholes and your trash isn't being picked up, then you probably have a pretty good idea about the rest of the world. The journalists nominated for Regional News tonight have done incredible work to keep people informed of what's going on in their cities and towns across the country, whether it's about fraud or education policy or natural disasters. And at a time when everything feels national, it's more vital than ever that regional outlets continue to do incredible work like the journalism we're honoring tonight.
The nominees in Outstanding Regional News Story Investigative are 13 Investigates, High Stakes, WTHR-TV, A Deceptive Diocese, WEWS-TV, Inspecting the Inspectors, KMOV-TV, In Plain Sight, The Fix, WANF, Reading Reset, WANF.
All right. And the Emmy goes to Inspecting the Inspectors, KMOV-TV.
Or is it just incompetence? But we need to know. Either way, there should be a pause.
First Alert 4 Investigates has been telling you about a program that uses pandemic funds to fix up privately owned vacant properties in St. Louis and then bill the property's owners tens of thousands of dollars. If they don't pay up, they could lose their properties, something some owners told us is unfair.
This is my home. This is my home. This is my family's.
I am so nervous to talk in front of you guys because I cannot believe I'm in this room. I'm just a local journalist and you all are my heroes. So I am stunned. I hope you remember that we are all watching you too, and when you are strong, we are strong. So thank you for that. I am so grateful here to also be here with Noah Brooks and Mark Hadler, who are two amazing photographers and editors. In a world where local news is mostly people doing everything all by themselves, collaboration still matters so much too, and so I'm so grateful to work with this team. To my former news director, Scott Diener, thank you for all your support. Our current news directors, Chris Nagus, our general manager, JD Sosnoff. Gray Media is a wonderful company to work for. Two of the other nominees in this category are from that company, and you guys are my heroes. I cannot believe I'm up here and not you. I don't understand how that is happening. To my family, to my husband, Chris, thank you so much for the late nights when I text you and I say, I'm so sorry, I'm not going to be home tonight. I'm forgetting things, guys. I'm so sorry. To my rest of my family, thank you for your support. To my two beautiful babies at home, thank you for being you and for being amazing. Our future is the reason we all do everything we do. So this is for you. Thank you.
The nominees in Outstanding Regional News Story, Breaking Spot News are Avioneta se estrella contra residencia en Aguadilla. WLIIDT Tell Once. Fuego en fin de año. WLIIDT Tell Once. Hurricane Francine Live Rescue. WDSU. Ranchero Tornado. WTSP. Wilmer Hutchins High School Shooting. WFAA.
And the Emmy goes to Hurricane Francine Live Rescue, WDSU. Congratulations.
Out of the back seat right now, that guy just broke that window. We're seeing some kind of movement happening. That person, yeah, I can actually see that person right now climbing over the seat, coming out of that vehicle right now. That person, yeah, actually coming out the window. There it is. That Good Samaritan right there broke that window, pulling that guy right now. More officers, look like firefighters are also coming in right now. It's a man that was inside that vehicle. Look like he's a bit stuck right now, trying to get out.
Oh my goodness, this is such an amazing honor. Honestly, in that moment, it showed me that not all heroes wear capes. Some are actually nurses who are watching the news who would come out with a hammer to bust a window and get someone out of a submerged vehicle. That moment would not have been captured if it wasn't for my photojournalist, Matthew DeMeester, who was in torrential downpour and flood waters who kept the camera rolling. Photojournalists do matter. I would like to thank my mother, my father, my grandmother, my family, my friends who have supported me throughout my career in journalism that sadly has now ended after 13 years. But this is the most amazing culmination of my television career. Thank you so much.
Is the average American better off today than they were?
Eres que tú te has ido de los medios tradicionales a otros lugares.
Our next presenters are a journalist for CBS News who is nominated for 3 Emmys tonight, and an award-winning civil rights attorney, best-selling author, and advocate. Please welcome Camilo Montoya-Galvez and Areva Martin.
The nominees in Spanish language categories tonight have excelled in reporting a broad swath of news at a time when it's more important than ever to serve their communities. They have covered violent immigration raids and wildfires, family members secreted off to far-off prisons, and even microplastics in the food we eat.
The U.S. has roughly 40 million Spanish speakers, all of whom share the same desire for clear-eyed reporting as anyone else, and it's an honor to present tonight's Emmys to the reporters who are entering that call.
The nominees in Outstanding Investigative News Coverage in Spanish are Alcatraz de los Caimanes, Campo de Prisioneros, Televisa Univisión. Luigi Mangione, Anatomy of a Crime, Noticiero Univisión, Univisión. Muerte en la Montaña de Siete Colores, Bloomberg Investigates, Bloomberg Originals. Planeta Tierra, Microplásticos, La Amenaza Invisible, Noticias Telemundo Ahora, Noticias Telemundo. Sobreviviendo al CICOT, ProPublica, The Texas Tribune.
And the Emmy goes to...
I can help. Sobreviviendo al CICOT, ProPublica, The Texas Tribune.
Accepting the Emmy, producer and editor, Gerardo del Valle.
This room agrees they are one of the most violent criminal organizations in the world.
These were a bad group, people that were really bad, with the worst records you've ever seen.
These people need to be locked up as long as they can.
President Kelly, we thank you. It has been wonderful for us to be able to have somewhere to send the worst of the worst.
Wow. Thank you to the Academy for the recognition. Investigative journalism is never a solo pursuit, especially when documenting the human cost of complex policy decisions on communities. Because of that, I have to start by thanking my family that has supported me all of my life, in particular my mom, my dad, my sister, and my grandma. I want to give a massive thank you to the entire team at ProPublica, in particular to Almudena and Ginger, who is here today. Thank you for trusting me to tell these complex stories, for dotting every I, and reviewing every single frame I produce to ensure our absolute accuracy. This project was a massive collaborative effort. I want to thank Perla, Melissa, Micah, Rana, and Adrian for generously sharing their profound expertise and wisdom, and to my crew in Venezuela who worked day and night to be able to get this shot, be able to be in contact with the families. A Juan José, Andri, Wilmer y a sus familias, Doris, Lina y Carmen. Gracias por abrir sus casas y compartir sus historias en las profundidades de la desesperación. Su valentía es el corazón de este proyecto. To my video colleagues at ProPublica, Almu, Lisa, Mao, Katie, and Nadia, thank you for picking me up when I'm injured and for being the best sounding board for rough cuts. To all my friends over the years, I'm from Guatemala and this is truly a surreal moment. So, los periodistas de Quetzal, Gaby Ríos, Fernanda Rocha, Alejandra Gutiérrez, Enrique Naveda, Sandra Sebastián, Graciela Mochovsky, and José Zamora. Thank you all for making me the journalist I am today. Gracias totales.
The nominees in Outstanding Breaking News Story in Spanish are California en llamas, Univisión. Cobertura de los incendios en Los Ángeles. Noticias Telemundo con Julio Vaquero. Noticias Telemundo. Los Ángeles, entre protestas y redadas migratorias. Noticias Telemundo con Julio Vaquero. Noticias Telemundo. Nuestra América. Todas las caras. Televisa Univisión.
All right, and the Emmy goes to Cobertura de los Incendios en Los Ángeles, Noticias, Telemundo con Julio Vaquero.
Accepting the Emmy, Leticia Herrera, Executive Producer.
Cobertura de equipo, estamos en el frente del fuego, en las comunidades más impactadas. Y comenzamos con Francisco Fajardo, él está en Altadena. Francisco, es otra de las zonas que mayor golpe han recibido con los incendios.
Thank you so much. When you see this amount of devastation, suffering, when you work 20 plus hours a day, you know it's going to be a tough coverage. This is for all the families in the communities of Pacific Palisades and Altadena. This is for you.
A nuestro equipo de noticias y a Telemundo, gracias por no tan solo cubrir la noticia, sino también por permitirle explicar a nuestra gente la nueva realidad que estamos viviendo de una emergencia climática que cada vez hace de estos incendios más intensos y más fuertes. Y es una gran bendición poder explicarle a nuestra gente sobre cómo podemos protegernos ante esta nueva realidad. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
The nominees in Outstanding Feature News Story in Spanish are De Ningún Lado, Fault Lines, Al Jazeera International USA. Estatus Venezolano, ProPublica Frontline Features. Michoacán, Vivir entre explosivos terrestres y aéreos. N Plus Despierta, Univisión VIX. Ni hombre ni mujer, intersexual. Noticias Telemundo Aura. Noticias Telemundo. Talento desperdiciado. Universidades, latinos y Trump. Noticias Telemundo Aura. Noticias Telemundo.
And the Emmy goes to
Estatus Venezolano, ProPublica Frontline Features.
Accepting the Emmy, Senior Executive Producer, Ginger Thompson.
Hay cosas que te afectan aunque tú no quieras. Tú dices, ok, eso no tiene nada que ver conmigo, pero el simple hecho que diga venezolano ya te da un terror porque eres aquí en la frente, el carterito, y es como que eres uno más del montón.
This is an enormous honor for us. Thank you very, very much. You all know the Trump administration's crackdown on immigrants has been one of the most urgent stories of the last year and a half. And there is no group of immigrants that has felt the brunt of that crackdown more than Venezuelans. They've been painted in broad strokes as rapists, murderers, and the worst of the worst. Even though the great majority of them have come here legally and have no criminal record. The journalist who led the production of this film is acutely attuned to what is happening to Venezuelan migrants because he is one. Mauricio Rodriguez Pons couldn't be here tonight, but I wish he was. He's brilliant. And I know he would want us to thank our editor-in-chief, Stephen Engelberg, also couldn't be here, our executive producer for video, Almudena Toral, the entire video team, our incredible partners at Frontline, who made our lovely, wonderful film even better. Thank you to all of you. Thanks.
The nominees in Outstanding News Program in Spanish are Al Rojo Vivo, Telemundo; Jorge Ramos, Así Veo las Cosas; I'm Back, Tres Alebrijes LLC; Noticiero Univisión, Televisa Univisión; Primer Impacto, Televisa Univisión; Spectrum Noticias Todo el Día, Facts 24/7; Spectrum Noticias.
All right, and the Emmy goes to Jorge Ramos, Así Veo las Cosas.
Accepting the Emmy, anchor, Jorge Ramos.
Así veo las cosas y aquí estamos, y eso es mucho decir. Esa es para nosotros la noticia. Esto es algo nuevo. Después de casi 40 años en la televisión, hemos entendido que ustedes, que tú, te has ido de los medios tradicionales a otros lugares, a las redes sociales, a los sitios en internet, en streaming, y es ahí precisamente donde queremos estar. Este programa se llama Así veo las cosas, es un programa donde vamos a presentarles algunas de las principales noticias del día, no todos. Well, I think this is a strong message. It's like the Big Bang of independent journalism. It's for us, it's a validation. It's proof that there's a new space for independent journalism and that we can actually compete and even win against the big media corporations. Of course, it has to do with technology, but at the end, it's all about credibility. Who do you trust? And people follow people, not institutions. And I think I'm just one example that there is life after television. So we didn't do it alone. I really want to thank Carmen Rojas, gracias Carmen, and the Margaret Casey Foundation, because you always believe in what we were doing, and without you, we wouldn't be here. I want to thank our partners at YouTube and Google, because you created a space for independent journalism that is incredibly important. You are visionaries and you know what's coming. This is the present and this is the future. And lastly, I want to thank my colleagues and friends, mis amigos, mis socios, Vilay Filar, María Martínez, Martín Guzmán, yo sé que estás ahí, and the team, the incredible team that young people, creative people at our production company, Tres Alebrijes, that allow me to reinvent myself at 6'7". So thank you very much.
The nominees in Outstanding Journalist in Spanish Language are Marlene Guzmán, Noticias Telemundo; Víctor Valles Mata, Televisa Univisión; Francisco Fajardo Nungaray, Noticias Telemundo; Jorge Ramos, Tres Alebrijes LLC.
Last one. And the Emmy goes to...
You want to try this one?
No.
Okay. Víctor Valles Mata.
Tenían lo que era la credencial de la Centri, que es un pase rápido que tiene uno. Me preguntaron que pues a dónde iba, todo normal, abrieron mi cajuela, me pregunta que si lo que hay en el carro es mío, y le digo que sí, y pues me ordena que me baje. Pues todavía no ponía los dos pies en el piso cuando ya había como 15 atrás de mí, y pues ya me habían arrestado.
Sin saberlo, Belén Brown, de 47 años de edad, había cruzado ilegalmente drogas a los Estados Unidos.
Wow. I've dreamed at this moment so many times. Thanks God. I want to thank the Television Academy for this award, which means everything to the little boy who grew up in a small town in northern Mexico and is standing here today holding an Emmy in his hands. I want to take a moment to thank my family, my husband, and my partners from En Punto team at NMAS Mexico for their unconditional support and for always holding me up, especially Denise Merker, Yolanda Ocampo, Daniel Badia, and Enrique Acevedo. I also want to congratulate the other nominees. You have my deepest admiration. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
And congratulations to me, because backstage she agreed to give me that outfit. I'd like to give a quick shout out to our presenting sponsor for tonight, YouTube. YouTube. It's not just the grape stomping lady and the chocolate rain kid anymore, YouTube. You know, in many ways, young people are the old people of tomorrow. Which is why tonight I'm proud to introduce you to our Emmy Envoys, a pair of promising journalism students who have assisted with our ceremony and represent the bright future of your craft. Both of tonight's Emmy Envoys are students at Syracuse University and the SI Newhouse School of Public Communications. Please welcome Francis Brown and Sam Kornreich. Back. I'd also like to introduce you to, they're beautiful, they're my children, okay? When people ask, who's your mom, say it's me. And say I have that guy's outfit. I'd also like to introduce you to our American Sign Language interpreters for the evening, Ariel Agramonte and Kathleen Taylor. Just let them do it. Don't do it yourself. Thank you so much for helping us bring tonight's ceremony to as wide an audience as possible. Now, please welcome someone who knows his way around a news desk. After having spent countless hours making calls, tracking down sources, watching edits, and taking fact checks, the former executive producer of 60 Minutes and last year's Silver Circle inductee, Bill Owens.
Hey, everybody. So in addition to awarding excellent content, we're also marking this evening with the induction of 6 individuals into the Gold and Silver Circle. These honors highlight professionals who have made significant and impactful contributions to the industry and the people who work in it. Please take a look.
For more than 4 decades, Frederica Whitfield has covered news and current events with the highest journalistic standards. Her service to the broadcast community extends beyond the screen. Throughout her career, she has mentored countless aspiring reporters and anchors who see in her a model of journalistic integrity and professional grace. For more than 50 years, Mary Lawrence Flynn supported, led, demanded, and challenged generations of correspondents and their teams. Her impact spread through wars, Olympics, papal deaths and conclaves, royal weddings and funerals, and every other news event NBC covered during her tenure. A true storyteller, ML has passed down her craft through workshops and mentoring, creating a ripple effect in the newsroom and beyond. Since 1973, Fountain Jones has mixed his creative talents with his technical expertise. His broadcast journey made stops in music, breaking news, sports, entertainment, and everything in between. Fountain's careful attention to his technical direction comes from his deep vision and passion of the work's impact. Broadcast producer, manager, and newsroom leader Jim Murphy has served as the moral and ethical compass for multiple newsrooms across 5 decades. He has been known to watch everything on the network, taking time to reach out and give credit and praise where he sees fit. A true teacher to all who work on his team, Jim spent a career dedicated to the highest principles of broadcast journalism. ABC's Carrie Smith is the unwavering voice behind every breaking news story and editorial choice. She ensures that every program and platform meets the highest journalistic and ethical standards while fighting to protect and strengthen the profession itself. Her tireless work with associations and causes that serve journalists goes far beyond the day's stories. David Sloan serves his ABC News team as a creative, a leader, an invaluable teacher, trusted friend, and dedicated mentor. Over 50 years, he held just about every production position in the shop. In addition to elevating his programs, David has been a mentor to ABC News staffers and college journalism students alike. For 50 years, Mary Walsh has produced with expertise, nuance, and a fierce commitment to confronting injustice. She went into war and conflict zones, not just to cover U.S. military operations, but to document their impact on soldiers and their families. Widely regarded as a legend by her peers, Mary is trusted implicitly and has a well-earned reputation for always knowing the right path for a story.
Please welcome this year's Gold and Silver Circle inductees.
Our next presenter is last year's winner of the Emmy for Outstanding Emerging News Journalist. Please welcome NewsNation's Natasha Zouves.
Such an honor to be here tonight. Journalism is always living in 2 directions at once. We carry forward the standards, the courage, the public service that built this profession, while also lifting up the people who will reinvent how the next generation will receive the truth. When I received this Emmy last year, I was reporting stories about Area 51 veterans who served in secrecy and are now developing cancer, as the Pentagon still denies they even exist, and farmers destroyed by forever chemicals. And what struck me then is what strikes me tonight. Emerging journalism can carry enormous stakes. That is what emerging really means. It means arriving with force and work that already has clarity, courage, and consequence. But we all know no piece of journalism reaches an audience alone, and tonight we are also honoring the craft that helps that work meet the world. The promo that makes someone stop, the graphic that makes something complex clear, the cold open that tells the audience in the first few seconds why they should stop their scroll and care. Tonight, I am proud to present the Emmy for Outstanding Emerging News Journalist and the awards honoring the creative teams who help powerful journalism reach our audience.
The nominees in Outstanding Emerging News Journalist are Camilo Montoya-Galvez, CBS News; Hanako Montgomery, CNN Worldwide; Jay O'Brien, ABC News; Katie Tutrone, The Weather Channel.
And the Emmy goes to Hanako Montgomery, CNN Worldwide.
Serenity blankets this place. Security more a formality than a necessity. This is the first and only security checkpoint that we've gone through to enter this prison. Inside, we see inmate after inmate with gray hair, bent backs. The 81-year-old prisoner, who's anonymous to protect her privacy, tells me she's here for shoplifting, but it's not her first time behind bars.
It is such an honor to be here, and honestly, I did not expect to win this award, so I don't have much prepared in terms of a speech. But I just want to say it's such a privilege to be a journalist in this time. I know it's extremely difficult to do our jobs, so being able to do this work that I love with an amazing team, with amazing colleagues, is just such a dream. And I want to thank everyone at CNN. I want to thank Elena, Leora, Leisha, Sandy, Steve, and Kunal, who's always in my corner. Thank you guys so much for having my back. Everyone in Tokyo, Junko, Yumi, Dan, you guys are my second family, so thank you so much. And my friends and family, thank you for always respecting my work and letting me cancel plans last minute. I love you guys. And of course, last but not least, the people who let us into their lives and let us tell their stories. Thank you.
The nominees in Outstanding Promotional Announcement News are Scamanda, ABC News Studios, The Substance and Soul of the South, AJC, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, National Geographic, We the People Brand Campaign, MS Now, Will Reeve, Finding My Father, ABC News Studios.
And the Emmy goes to The Substance and Soul of the South, AJC.
Accepting the Emmy, Creative Director Edward Reed.
Hey man, welcome to the AJC.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be standing up here. This is pretty wild. Thank you. One of these things is not quite like the other. A little local, so bear with me. I want to thank Amy Green, and Andrew Morris for giving us the time and really space to create an amazing promo for a newspaper transitioning to a digital media, The Source, and the news Substance and Soul of the South, which is incredible. I want to thank Sam for her incredible team's content. I don't think we would have been able to make an incredible promo without you, so thank you. My incredible team at the AJC, a creative team, Tom Carter and Jason Johnson, who are incredible. And a great marketing partner, Gerard Hardy, wherever he is. I know he's super happy that this happened, so amazing. And one last group to thank, Jeff and Leah from Jam Entertainment. Incredible partners to work with, which I've worked with for a long time, so shout out to them. And one last thing, local journalism matters. I know everybody here really supports that. It's near and dear to our heart, so thank you. Thank you, everyone.
The nominees in Outstanding Graphic Design News are The Hidden Cost of South Sudan's Oil Boom, Bloomberg Originals. How China is beating India in its own backyard, Bloomberg Originals. Johnny Harris, New Press. One spark away, the 2025 LA wildfires, the Weather Channel. Winter Storm VR, Noticias Telemundo Ahora, Telemundo.
And the Emmy goes to Johnny Harris, News Press.
55. Here I am in 1975 and 1995, 2015, and then today. I'm going to put myself in the shoes of a middle-income earner in all of these decades to answer a very important question about the United States. Is the average American better off today than...
That was a video that we just imagined as a team. What would it be like if we lived through the decades? And because of an amazing, creative, scrappy, resourceful team of self-taught artists and creative journalists, we were able to bring that to life and then put it on our own airwaves. Millions of people watched it. We get to publish this journalism to millions of people because of YouTube. And because of that, we can get weird and we can come up with new ways of showing how the world works. I grew up not really learning information like the rest of the world. I had to visualize it, I had to see it to understand it. And with an amazing team, we worked together to try to make that gift of understanding possible to others. So I'm just so grateful that we could honor that with this trophy and this amazing team that we have here and all over the world that work together. We're trying to reimagine the future of journalism on YouTube, and we're really excited to be here tonight. Thank you so much.
The nominees in Outstanding Cold Open or Title Sequence News are Born to be Viral, The Real Lives of Kidfluencers, ABC News Studios. The Great American Rehab Scam, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media. Hey Beautiful, Anatomy of a Romance Scam, ABC News Studios. How New Magnets Could Power the Future, Bloomberg Primer, Bloomberg Originals. Shark Hunters, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media. The Trank Dope Underground, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media.
And the Emmy goes to How New Magnets Could Power the Future, Bloomberg Primer, Bloomberg Originals.
Accepting the Emmy, producer Alan Jeffries.
That if there's not enough magnets to go around, there'll be a restriction in supply. Which country control the magnetism, control the world?
So inventors around the globe are creating new kinds of magnets that could save our planet and our face-melting rifts. That'll make sense later.
Wow, thank you so much. In the spirit of cold opens, I'll keep it short and sweet. I'm just going to thank my team. Tom Connors, Jordan Opplinger, Akshat Ratti, Carolyn Hyde, Philibert Bibro, Ranjani Chakraborty, Heather Wong, Dave Dominguez, Rubab Shakir, many others. I got to stop there. Thank you so much.
Our next presenter is NBC News' senior Washington correspondent, anchor of Hallie Jackson Now and anchor of Sunday's NBC Nightly News, Hallie Jackson.
At a moment in time when it feels like stories pop in and out of public consciousness faster than you can scroll past them, one of the most important things journalism can provide is the ability to remain. To not move on just because the world may have, to stay on a story for the duration, however long that duration lasts. These stories may fall out of the lead, they may get pushed down a block or two in the rundown, but they are no less worthy. And tonight's nominees in continuing coverage know this deeply. They have devoted countless hours and effort to making sure that we keep telling these stories. And the nominees for discussion, analysis, and interview make sure that once we know these stories, we can make sense of them. There's an art to this, to sit across from a powerful person and to hold them to account, or to bring to bear expertise and experience to put events into context. It is not easy, even though our nominees make it look that way. That's why we are thrilled to be presenting the following Emmys tonight.
The nominees in Outstanding Continuing Coverage short form are CNN's Fred Pleiken reports from inside Iran, CNN Worldwide. CNN's Jeremy Diamond covers Gaza's starvation crisis, CNN Worldwide. Cuts and Consequences, PBS NewsHour, PBS News. Earthquake in Myanmar, BBC News. Haiti, Inside the Collapse. In the Shadows with Jason Bellini, Scripps News.
And the Emmy goes to Earthquake in Myanmar, BBC News.
Accepting the Emmy, Senior Executive Producer, Paul Danaher.
Say more than 100. When the earthquake struck this month, we're taking an examination call, and the floors collapsed one on top of the other, trapping them underneath these concrete blocks. What's also making the rescue operation even more difficult is how hot it is. It's really sweltering. And just from everywhere around us, we can smell dead bodies.
Sorry, that was a slow walk. You can see why. When this earthquake happened, the government in Burma shut it off to the world. They banned all journalists from going in. It is to the credit of Yogi Telemai and Amir Pizada, Sanjay Ganguly and Akriti Thapa that they went in anyway. They went in undercover. They risked arrest, beatings, and potential jail to tell a story to the world. And they weren't alone. There were other colleagues who were involved in this coverage throughout the entire year. We've talked a lot tonight about the value of journalism. This was real public service journalism. It was a story that the world doesn't tell very often. I'm really proud of the BBC for funding it. I want to thank Richard Burgess, who helps us tell these stories, and I want to thank the Academy for giving us this award. Thank you very much.
The nominees in Outstanding Continuing Coverage long form are Along the Green Line, The Guardian. CNN's Isabel Young reports from Afghanistan, CNN Worldwide. The First 100 Days compilation, 60 Minutes, CBS News. Gaza War, The New York Times. Immigration Crackdown, ABC News.
And the Emmy goes to Along the Green Line, The Guardian.
Accepting the Emmy, reporter Matthew Castle.
Traveling along the Green Line, meeting Palestinians and Israelis living just kilometers apart, but shaped by vastly different realities, to discover whether peace is still possible and what future they envision. Wow. Being a freelance journalist these days is very tough, and it's why there's so few of us in the room today. So I'm very grateful to Tem, Doran, and Kiri Evangelou from The Guardian for commissioning myself, Ayman Abramowicz, Guy Barak, who can't be with us here today, to tell this story. Reporting this series, we went everywhere in Israel and the occupied Palestinian territories, except for one place, to Gaza, because for the past 3 years, Israel has denied access to foreign journalists like us. So it would feel wrong to come up here today and not recognize the work of our incredible colleagues, 2 of whom appeared in this series, Malik Tantish and Inas Tantish, and the close to 300 journalists, Palestinian journalists, that have been killed by Israel over the past few years of this war. This award is for our Palestinian colleagues in Gaza. Thank you.
The nominees in Outstanding News Discussion and Analysis are Burn Order Community Event, The Rachel Maddow Show, MS Now, Deport Them All, Who's to Blame for Springfield's Immigrant Crisis, More Perfect Union, The History of Slavery, A Debate and Rebuttal, Newsnight with Abby Phillip, CNN Worldwide. They Were the Watchdogs, The New York Times Opinion, Truth Under Fire, Breaking the Deadlock, GBH, PBS. Washington Week with The Atlantic, Washington Week, PBS News. We Followed the Rules, ICE Jailed Us Anyway, The New York Times Opinion.
And tonight for this category, the Emmy goes to Deport Them All, Who's to Blame for Springfield's Immigrant Crisis.
Thank you, everybody. Credit to John Russell for that great reporting. Credit to the small but mighty More Perfect Union team. We're a small nonprofit, about $10 million a year organization. Jorge Ramos mentioned, the rise of independent media. We're proud to be a part of that category. Thanks to Marguerite Casey and Carmen Rojas for their support. Listen, fourth estate. Times are perilous. You are living, we are living the experience of America's working class before us. Corporate consolidation, corporate control, corporate greed, stranglehold over your economic freedom, our economic freedom. The recipe, as it has long been, labor history has taught us, is solidarity. A sense that my kids will grow up in a world in which we care about your kids will grow up in a world that care about my kids. It's being challenged right now by a sense of selfishness and greed from the top, a sense of desire to tear us apart. I just want you to feel and know that in these times, there's a desire to punish those of us who have the courage to speak out. You're mayor of this great city for raising taxes on the rich. Oh, we got to punish him. California, you want to raise taxes on the rich, punish him. But in these times, we find courage to stand up together and know that when we speak out, we're speaking out on behalf of people who are powerless. So the only thing I ask of you, beseech of you, is as we do our journalistic inquiries to ask one question: who has power and who doesn't? And let us endeavor to fight for those who don't have power, to tell their stories. And if we do, we'll have liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody.
The nominees in Outstanding Interview Long Form are Epstein Survivors Speak Out, ABC News Live, ABC News. Eric Dane Speaks, ABC News. Finland's President on Trump, Resilience and Putin's Threat, Leaders with Francine Lacroix, Bloomberg Originals. Lori Vallow Daybell, The Jailhouse Interview, Dateline NBC. War or Peace, The Zelensky Interview, ABC News Live and This Week with George Stephanopoulos, ABC News. Why Young Men Don't Like the Democrats, More Perfect Union.
Emmy goes to Eric Dane's speech, ABC News.
Accepting the Emmy, executive producer Christina Eng.
Part denial, part radical acceptance. That kind of happened.
Can you avoid waking up, I guess, every morning and thinking, okay, what's different today?
It's on me the second I wake up.
It's not a dream.
It's not a dream. No. And I thought for a long time, like, a doctor was going to come back and say, hey, we're really sorry.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this honor. I'm sorry Christina Eng couldn't be with us tonight. I'm accepting on her behalf. We miss her. She was our leader for this piece. We're so honored to be in this category with the other nominees as well, who were also so strong. This interview could have only been done by the incomparable Diane Sawyer, whose intellect, integrity, and compassion carried it through. Eric Dane spoke so candidly with Diane about what he was going through just months before he died, shining a light on the strain ALS put on him and his family. We'd like to thank Debra and Almeen, who have always supported us. We're missing Christina Eng. And a huge thank you to David Sloan, Mark Robertson, Simone Swink, Karen Weinberg, and this mighty team, Acacia Nunez, Frankie Maloney, Omala Snyder, and Joe LoBianco for all your hard work. Thank you. Thank you.
The nominees in Outstanding Interview short form are CNN's Jeremy Diamond presses Hamas official on suffering in Gaza, CNN Worldwide. Elon Musk, CBS News Sunday Morning, CBS News. Interview with Iran's Foreign Minister Araghchi, NBC News. Interview with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, Meet the Press, NBC News. Pennsylvania governor speaks out after arson attack, Good Morning America. So I Raped You, Nightline, ABC News.
And the Emmy goes to CNN's Jeremy Diamond.
Accepting the Emmy, correspondent Jeremy Diamond.
October 7th, Israel had never unleashed this level of death and destruction on Gaza before. How can you look at me with a straight face and tell me that you accept no responsibility whatsoever for what has happened in the 2 years since?
What is the option is left for the Palestinians to do? First time the Palestinians have shown sacrifice in this Israeli-Palestinian.
Thank you so much for this honor, which I share with just a really incredible team. Zina Saifi, Ibrahim Dahman, David Hawley, Andrew Carey, Leora Kaplis, Nadine Ibrahim, and Oren Lieberman. The moment we secured this interview, I knew what I wanted to ask Ghazi Hamad. He had already been pressed about Hamas's deadly October 7th attack in Israel. But what about what that attack unleashed on the people of Gaza? We did so by lifting up the voices of Palestinians in Gaza, and in a way that didn't absolve Israel of its own responsibility for the tens of thousands of people who have been killed in Gaza. I also want to lift up the voices of those people in Gaza today, 2 million people who are still living in tents, who are still living in bombed-out buildings. We should be able to report on the conditions that those people are living through on the ground. But for the past 2.5 years, the Israeli government has banned us from reporting independently in Gaza. Enough is enough. Let us in. Thank you.
Please welcome the president of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, Adam Sharp.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And thank you also to our production team, our volunteers, and our partners at YouTube, C-SPAN, and the Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press. Thank you to the more than 800 volunteer judges among you who put in countless hours to select these 40 Emmy honorees from a field of more than 1,000 submissions. Now, when the revolutionary generation put pen to parchment 250 years ago, they declared the necessary right to publish facts to a candid world as a founding principle of American liberty. They chose to align themselves to a vision of public freedom that was reinforced a decade later by the First Amendment. The cause met challenges from the start, and generations of writers, publishers, broadcasters, and others have rightly joined together to push back ever since. They've recognized that liberty is a muscle that must be exercised. Whether it's the Sedition Act or the Pentagon Papers, Obama-era leak prosecutions, or the recent weaponization of press access, attacks on the press are not new, nor are they unique to one political party. They are born of this country's founding tension between sunlight and power. Journalists are the torchbearers for the public's right to know and the right to speak. Throughout history, there have been those who have joined together to keep doors closed, to keep the work of government and policymaking away from public view. But then there are those who band together to open those doors, who ask tough questions and bring the public inside. And if there's one message you've heard again and again tonight, it's that these are the people we honor with News and Documentary Emmy Awards. These are also the people whose ideals guide the news and documentary peer groups of our Academy. And it's the community we hope you will become a part of by becoming an Academy member. Go to members.theemmys.tv or scan the QR code on your screen. And then there are those brave souls who lead the pack, always on the front lines, kicking those doors down day after day, year after year. Journalists like this year's Lifetime Achievement Award honoree, Martha Raddatz of ABC News. And to present the award, it is my pleasure to introduce the chairman of Disney Entertainment Television, Debra OConnell.
Hi, everyone. What a privilege it is to be honoring someone who so clearly embodies the attributes and character deserving of a Lifetime Achievement Award, the great Martha Raddatz. So, looking at each of her accomplishments, accolades, and remarkable body of work, I can confidently say that any one of them would be worthy of this award. And to look at them in their totality is simply breathtaking. She has earned the unflappable trust of generals, world leaders, and military families, including this one, who know they can trust her with their stories, knowing she will honor them with dignity and humanity. She understands and respects the fact that many have raised their hands and volunteered for the hardest job in the world, as has she, putting herself on the front lines to cover the stories that matter most and to support those in the field and bringing the world into our homes. From the anchor desk of This Week to World News Tonight, Good Morning America, and beyond, Martha tells the stories of and for everyday Americans that make a difference. And that's because she cares deeply and with every fiber of her being about the sacrifice and the importance of journalism. She has more courage, depth, and character than absolutely anyone I've ever had the pleasure of working with. And that is saying a lot, considering the world-class journalists I am fortunate to work alongside of every single day with our ABC News team who showed up to support Martha and all of you tonight. And I'm not the only one that feels that way. In fact, whenever I am at a Disney company retreat, it never fails that the biggest names in Hollywood have one name on their list that they want to meet. And it's not the person starring in our next blockbuster feature or directing the next Oscar-winning tour de force. It's Martha Raddatz. Yes, it is. Her steady, thoughtful, and straightforward reporting grounds even the biggest stars in reality, shining a light on critical issues, people, and circumstances around the world for decades. And I get to stop when this happens and smile and say, yes, she is an extraordinary journalist and a dear friend, and even more. Martha is a teacher to all of us, a respected leader in our newsroom and many others, a wife, a mom, an adored Grammy, that's her nickname by her grandchildren, and to all of us here this evening and around the world, simply put, a badass. Okay. Now you can see a little bit of that for yourself. Take a look.
Martha Raddatz. Martha Raddatz. Martha Raddatz. Martha Raddatz with extraordinary access.
So, what can I say about Martha Raddatz?
We are on the lead ship in the carrier strike group through the Strait of Hormuz.
She's clear-eyed, she's tough, and she's exactly the same whether she's talking to a private.
You have mortars right there.
Mortars right there. Or to a general.
There have been massive civilian casualties. That seems to be a pretty bad sign.
I mean, where do you start when you're talking about Martha Raddatz? She's the gold standard in journalism.
The compound bin Laden lived in was just over there. North Korean military are passing by. You can feel the ground shake. But did not mention the war in Ukraine. What does victory look like in Ukraine?
Martha is a reminder every single day that real reporters go out there and they witness it.
I'm standing right on the front line.
They smell it, they observe it, they interact, they listen out in the field.
These are Iraqi security forces on this side, and on the other side of that berm, ISIS.
And she's a reminder for anyone coming up through the ranks that the way to become a great reporter is to raise your hand, be first out the door. Try to chase Martha, and good luck if you can try to catch her, because she really does set the standard for everyone else.
Two words that immediately come to mind when I think of Martha: grit and grace.
Martha is a tough and fearless reporter, a kind and compassionate human being, and that combination is the secret to her success.
You look up one day and Martha's on a nuclear submarine.
Now we're headed for the Missile Control Center.
And then she's in Russia, she's in Ukraine.
In Iraq, in Afghanistan.
All two bombings here.
From her days reporting in Boston, Martha Bradley, News Center 5, to then covering the Pentagon at NPR, and then thankfully she landed here at ABC News.
Martha Raddatz, ABC News, Washington.
There's so many highlights in Martha's career, but one for me was when she moderated the vice presidential debate.
The first and only vice presidential debate.
And it set the stage for her to do one that was a lot more difficult.
Answer the question.
Why
Do
don't
you still
interrupt
believe?
her? You
I
interrupt
do.
me all the time. Why don't you
Would you
interrupt her?
please explain whether or not the Muslim ban still stands?
Martha understands that a vigorous, healthy press is essential to having a vigorous, healthy country.
You could tell that she is fearless. But I think what people may not know is that she is just as devoted to her family as she is to her career.
She has shown that you can be an amazing mother and still incredibly successful at this job.
Can you imagine being Greta and Jake and growing up with Martha Raddatz as your mom when people at school say, "What does your mom do?" And they say she's just off covering another war zone.
Martha's fearless reporting comes from the fact that she always wants to find the heartbeat of the story.
Hi Martha, I'm here at the DMZ overlooking the river into North Korea, and I have heard that you've done a lot of reporting in Pyongyang.
We're just outside the stadium. Kim Jong-un is already inside.
Martha's the type of colleague who would literally give you the blazer off of her back. And I sincerely mean this because we have in DC what we call the Martha closet.
It's not uncommon here in the DC Bureau that you'll compliment a colleague's outfit and they'll say, "Oh, thanks, it's a Martha."
So I just give up. You know, we go to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and I come straight from hair and makeup. She comes from the battlefield. Look at her.
Martha really sets the bar high for all of us. I mean, as a young journalist, you could only hope one day you'll be as much of a badass as Martha. I can't believe I'm saying that.
benevolent badass.
She is a journalist that is so rare, and her commitment is unmatched. And did I say she is not afraid to fly?
We are upside down over the mountains. Oh, crap. That was awesome.
Congratulations, Martha. You are so deserving of this honor, and I know I'm not the first one to say it. You're a badass.
Congratulations, Martha. So well deserved.
Martha, congratulations.
Congratulations, Martha. You are extraordinary.
You are one of the best journalists in the world. I honestly say that.
Congratulations, Martha.
Congratulations, Martha.
Congratulations to Martha Raddatz. Martha, we're so proud of you.
She's just the best. She's just the best.
So congratulations to Martha Raddatz on her Lifetime Achievement Award. She is a groundbreaking newsmaking on her way and taking names hero of American forces and the journalists who love her. I'm one.
She's got some fancy title here at ABC News, some chief something or other, but I prefer just to call her our chief badass. And I'm sure you've heard that theme from a few people here, and so maybe we should just start doing it. What's holding us back? Congratulations, Martha. We love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues and friends, it is my sincere pleasure to introduce Martha Raddatz, the Lifetime Achievement Award winner.
I don't even know what to say. But what I do want to say is this is a superwoman right here, and I adore her, and thank you for that. And that tape, I think that should be up for an Emmy next year. It was pretty spectacular. If you know me well, you know I'm not very good at being patted on the back or people saying you do a great job, but I gotta admit those are pretty badass images there. I loved every one of them. I also am a little nervous because I just watched I'm Just a Local Reporter do a great job with that speech. Forgive me, I did not get your name, but I have a feeling you are going to be famous in many, many ways, and you'll be up here someday. And I do want to underline that I was that woman quite a while ago, and that's where it starts. What we do today is local news. Everything we do is local news, and now we give it to a national audience. I'm so proud of all our local and regional colleagues. I'm so proud of everyone here. It also strikes me that I'm, aside from Debra, pretty much alone up here. But this entire stage, this entire theater would be filled with the people who have helped me get here. My colleagues at ABC News, I adore you. You are fabulous. My family, my friends who are here, everyone who has backed me up for decades and decades and helped get me here today. I listened to all the speeches today. Come on, some of you stole my material. So I'm just gonna wing it here and say this. It is an incredibly challenging time. Our business is changing. We are getting smacked in the face all of the time. But the fundamentals of what we do, journalism, television journalism, but journalism first, remain and should remain. I watched all of these awards tonight. You should all be so proud of yourself. Look at the work we have all done in the past years, in the past decades, and we continue to do that every day. So keep doing your job with curiosity, with empathy, and a good dose of outrage. Thank you so much.
Please welcome Emmy Award-winning journalist and anchor of Noticias Telemundo, Vanessa Hauc.
Good evening, everyone. Muy buenas noches. It's such a privilege for me to be here with all of you tonight. Behind all the lofty rhetoric and high-minded ideas about what good reporting is, there is craft. Clipping that perfect soundbite from a 90-minute interview, or writing the exact turn of phrase that transitions from one idea to the next, or marrying the right piece of music from an infinite library, or spending hours combing through archives to find the perfect piece of tape that recontextualizes an entire story. It's all craft, and it's all just as important to what we do as the ideals that drive us. Because you can have the most affecting story in the world, but without craft, it will never truly sing. And to be able to deploy that craft under deadline, in a war zone, or amid conflicting narrative within a fast-moving story, it's all why tonight's nominees are the best at what they do. And it's truly an honor to present these categories.
The nominees in Outstanding Editing News are The Bus on Route 62, 60 Minutes, CBS News. Cartel USA, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media. Filmed in Gaza, NBC News. Kids Under Fire, Fault Lines, Al Jazeera International USA. Operation Return to Sender, Evident Media, Cal Matters, Bellingcat. The Sherpas of Everest, 60 Minutes, CBS News. Strike on Iran, The Nuclear Question, Frontline PBS.
And the Emmy goes to Film in Gaza, NBC News.
كان صامد جوا بحاول ينسب مع أحد الشخصيات لعمل مقابلة معهم، فمارتي كانت تنقل إنهاء المنزل انهار عليه.
I humbly accept this on behalf of the editors on this film. We have Tate James, Will Miller, Froy Emberlis, and our assistant editor, Danny Card. It's been said a lot tonight, but it can't be said enough. At the time of publishing this in December, 207 Palestinian journalists and media workers have been killed since the war began. But because journalists Samir al-Bouji and Samed Abu Zarifa knew how vital it was to record the endless suffering around them, we now have a film to help us all better understand this very tragic period. But we're grateful to be here tonight, celebrating their work, thanks to support from David Verity, Adrian Mung, Paul Nasser, and Lawahez Jabari. And with special thanks to duty producer Harry Monk, the incredible digital docs team at NBC, our art and graphics team, and to Rebecca Blumenstein, Catherine Kim, Shalini Sharma, and the leadership team that supported all the news gathering needed to make this possible. Thank you all very much.
The nominees in Outstanding Video Journalism News are Filmed in Gaza, NBC News. Flight of the Monarchs, 60 Minutes, CBS News. Kids Under Fire, Fault Lines, Al Jazeera International USA. The Last Lifeline, Fault Lines, Al Jazeera International USA. Strike on Iran, The Nuclear Question, Frontline PBS. The Trank Dope Underground, Trafficked with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media.
And the Emmy goes to Film in Gaza, NBC News.
قعدنا ننتكتك يعني بعد يمكن حوالي 7 دقائق
Well, Greg stole everything I was going to say because we wrote this thing together. But on behalf of the NBC News Digital Docs team, we thank you for this recognition. This story would not have been possible without the relentless, courageous work of Samad Abu Sarifa and Samir Al-Bouji, who are profiled in our film. Day in and day out, they documented what was happening on the ground in Gaza, hoping their work would make it to air and would make a difference. Much thanks again to our international news gathering team led by David Verdi, Adrian Mung, Paul Nasser, and to the amazing Lawahez Jabari. My deep gratitude to the incredible members of the Digital Docs team who meticulously sorted through 2 years' worth of footage to sew together this beautiful tapestry, which our masterful edit team wove together. We are so appreciative of the art and graphics team that helped bring proximity and urgency to many moments of Samad and Samir's harrowing journey. And thanks to Rebecca Blumenstein, Catherine Kim, Shalini Sharma, and the leadership team that supported the news gathering efforts that made this piece possible. Thank you so much.
The nominees in Outstanding Writing News are Brides for Sale, Trafficked with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media. Cartel USA, Trafficked with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media. Kids Under Fire, Fault Lines, Al Jazeera International USA. The Long Train Ride Home, Remembering Emmett Till. ABC News Live, Crime with Lindsay Davis, ABC News. Revisiting the Voting Rights Act, ABC News Live, Crime with Lindsay Davis, ABC News. U.S. aid cuts in Afghanistan, CNN Worldwide.
And the Emmy goes to Kids Under Fire, Fault Lines, Al Jazeera International.
Hospitals at different times, they all witnessed a disturbing pattern.
More and more, I started to see children with penetrating injuries like gunshot wounds.
Gunshot came from out of nowhere. Your kid was just playing on the playground and got shot.
That's it, one wound. It seemed like every day we had at least a child coming in with a gunshot wound. At some point, I thought, God, this just can't be. There has to be a mistake.
Most of the time, you have a gunshot wound to the head.
I don't know how, but we got lost coming down here. First of all, I want to thank Al Jazeera for giving us the chance to do these kinds of stories. I want to thank the team that's behind me. When you're freelance, you never know who you're going to get, and I'm very grateful that these people are kind, thoughtful, and excellent journalists. The two films we had nominated this year about Gaza were one of them was focused on children, and one of them was focused on Dr. Hussam Abu Safiya. And I just want to take this opportunity and this moment on the stage to say something about him. Today happens to be Eid, and that's a day of celebration for many people in Gaza. This will also be Hussam Abu Safia's fourth Eid in detention, unlawful detention, as recorded by multiple lawyers, both Palestinian and Israeli. And I just want to take this opportunity because it's a bittersweet win. It's a great win to highlight Gaza, but it's bittersweet because he remains in detention, as do hundreds of Palestinians with no charge. And I hope this kind of filmmaking stands as a record for what has happened to these people. Thank you again for this honor, and thank you so much.
The nominees in Outstanding Research News are Black Market Love, Trafficked with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media. Brides for Sale, Trafficked with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media. Chasing a Ghost, The Search for Austin Tice, CNN Worldwide. The Great American Rehab Scam, Trafficked with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media. Operation Baby Lift, The 50-Year Journey, 2020 and ABC News Live, ABC News. The Trank Dope Underground, Trafficked with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media.
And the Emmy goes to Brides for Sale, Trafficked with Mariana Van Zeller.
I brought the contract here. The package price is 200,000 RMB.
So the package price is $29,000, $5,000 more if they wanted a girl younger than 18.
Yes.
And more if they wanted a virgin.
Yeah.
They said that?
Yes.
Oh my God, this is so nuts.
Thank you. First of all, I just want to acknowledge the incredible women that we covered in this story. I've never seen resilience and determination like we saw in these women, so thank you to them for being brave enough to share that with us. I grew up in South Africa, and honestly, stages like this were so far away from where I grew up, and so all of you guys, I learned everything that I know about making television from you guys. And some of my fondest memories of my life have you in them. And the show changed my life in so many profound ways. And thank you guys so much for helping me get to this stage from where I came from, which was a very, very far way away. To my little daughter, Charlie, who is here tonight actually running around, you guys might have seen her. This is going in your bedroom, and I'm terribly sorry that it's not pink, but... And of course, my lovely wife, Leave her, she held down the fort through all kinds of different things and never kind of freaked out when she would get random calls from people when I was detained by terrorist groups or caught in a coup or wherever else we ended up. This honestly means the world to us, to me, and thank you guys so much for everything you've done for me. Thank you.
Sorry, you guys. If we could just hold on a second. There's one thing I've wanted to do before this night is over. If you'll just indulge me for one little bit. Okay, here we go. Get me pictures of Spider-Man. There. Yeah, that was good. It felt good. It felt better than I thought it would. All right. Y'all, this next run of categories includes Anderson Cooper, David Muir, and George Clooney, and shockingly, it's not outstanding achievements in smoldering.
The nominees in Outstanding Recorded News Special are The Struggle for Food Assistance, ABC News Live, ABC News. The Children of Gaza, ABC News Live, ABC News. Hurricane Katrina, 20 years after the storm, ABC News. LA Burning, The Whole Story with Anderson Cooper, CNN Worldwide. The United States versus Harvard, The Whole Story with Anderson Cooper, CNN Worldwide.
And the Emmy goes to ABC News Live, ABC News Studios, The Children of Gaza.
Accepting the Emmy, executive producer Muriel Pearson.
There too we lived in a tent and suffered from malnutrition. There was simply no food. It was unbearably hot, with swarms of mosquitoes, insects, and even disease. We couldn't bear the conditions.
There are going to be 3 kids out in Gaza tonight who are going to be pretty thrilled when I get a hold of my iPhone. It's been noted tonight that it's been over 2.5 years since there's been independent reporting out of Gaza. 2.5 years. And that's the reason why we turn to these children, to bear witness to what was going on. And they opened up their lives and their hearts to us because they wanted to tell the truth of what a humanitarian disaster looked like in a war zone. It's been noted also tonight that it's been very hard to report on certain topics, and this has certainly been one of them. It would have been impossible to do this without the support of my colleagues. Seni, thank you so much. Amin, thank you so much for supporting. Ian Panel for reporting, and above all, our producer on the ground, Rueda Amer, who risked her life to get us some critical pictures. A couple days after she got some harrowing video inside a hospital, that hospital was hit by a double strike. And I guess I just want to wrap by saying this one's for Gaza tonight. Thank you so much.
Our next presenters are the current anchor of ABC News Live Crime and Weekend World News Tonight, and the Jerusalem correspondent for CNN. Please welcome Lindsay Davis and an Emmy winner tonight, Jeremy Diamond.
We're excited to be celebrating live and recorded specials which cover topics like Hurricane Katrina, Trump's first 100 days, and a Broadway performance of Good Night and Good Luck. The play highlights the triumph of Edward R. Murrow's unflinching pursuit of journalism in the face of relentless political pressure. It's easy to see the parallels to today, and it's why we must rise to the occasion just as Murrow did. The nominees in these categories certainly have.
Good evening, everyone. We are also happy to be celebrating technical excellence and direction, 2 categories that make a difficult job look very easy. We often don't see their names, don't see their faces, but we do see their work. I'm proud to present these Emmys that elevate the skilled technicians and directors who elevate us all every day.
The nominees in Outstanding Live News Special are 100 Days of Trump, a town hall with forced out federal workers, MSNBC. 100 Días de Trump, Noticias Telemundo. American Catastrophe, LA Burning, 2020 and ABC World News Tonight, ABC News. The Conclave, ABC News Special Report, ABC News. Good Night and Good Luck, Truth and Power, CNN Worldwide.
And the Emmy goes to 2020 and ABC World News Tonight, American Catastrophe, LA Burning.
Accepting the Emmy, executive producer Janice Johnston.
The city shaken and suffering after a devastating loss here. At least 11 dead now, more than 10,000 homes and structures have been lost, more than 150,000 still under evacuation orders tonight. The first fire is still burning tonight, and this evening, the stunning images. Just moments ago, our station here in Los Angeles, KABC, up over a new flare-up in the Santa Monica Mountains. These are the images coming in right now. This is part of the Palisades fire.
Oh my gosh.
There are a lot of people coming on stage because it truly takes a village. From the Palisades to North Hollywood 2020, an ABC News reported on the torrent of embers wiping out communities, homes, and lives. It was just 3 days in, entire neighborhoods were destroyed, and over 150,000 Angelenos were under evacuation orders. In fact, some of our own ABC News staffers working on this special were evacuated, their own homes under threat. David Muir was at the helm, in the air over the lost neighborhoods, and there on the ground, interviewing those citizens fighting to save what was left, and the heroic first responders, some of whom lost their own homes while fighting desperately to save those of others. This live edition of 2020 represents the broader strength of all of ABC News working together. From our LA bureau under the direction of Bonnie McLean, is Bonnie here? Where's Bonnie? And the entire news desk, World News executive producer Chris Dinan and his brilliant team, every producer, production member, and editor of 2020, the inexhaustible control room, the reporters, producers, cinematographers, and sound techs standing there in the smoke and rubble. Our incredible partner station, KABC, whose unforgettable aerial images made real those horrific flames during those very dark days. And as always, the supportive leadership, he's taking my picture now, Amin, and Debra at the helm. With the ongoing insurance crisis that follows to this day, the lasting mental health effects, and the need to rebuild, the city is forever changed and is changing still. Here's to LA Strong. Thank you.
The nominees in Outstanding Technical Excellence News are CBS Evening News, CBS News, CNN's The Fourth in America, CNN Worldwide, CNN's New Year's Eve coverage, CNN Worldwide, live from the Southern California fires, ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, ABC News, Presidential Inauguration Pool Feed, NBC News.
And the Emmy goes to live from the Southern California fires, ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, ABC News.
I'm honored to accept this award on behalf of the incredible technical team in the LA Bureau, led by Rennell Ellison. This small but mighty tech team is incredible, as my colleague Kana Whitworth just called Rennell our MacGyver, and boy did this team MacGyver. When David Muir arrived on the scene, there were still fires burning all around the team in the Palisades, first responders moving through the streets, no cell service or comms, as we call it in the business. So anyway, this team just managed to get David on the air, and he stayed. So special thank you to David Muir and his commitment to this story. Thank you to Amin, our leader, who was with David by his side every day. Thank you to Debra, wherever she is, because she was with us as well. I remember standing with her as the skies were turning orange. Anyway, it's just an incredible testament to everyone on this team. Thank you. And just when I was a young producer, I had a boss who told me how important it is to find and identify the people who get you on the air and stay friends with them. And I'm so lucky to call this team in LA, and led by Rennell, my friends and colleagues. So thank you again.
The nominees in Outstanding Direction News are Black Market Love, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media. Brides for Sale, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media. Can the Southern Baptist Convention survive without women pastors? Hold the Line, The New Yorker. Hey Beautiful, Anatomy of a Romance Scam, ABC News Studios. The Trank Dope Underground, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media. Will Reeve, Finding My Father, ABC News Studios.
And the Emmy goes to Black Market Love, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller.
Accepting the Emmy, Director Sarah Johansson.
If these safe houses didn't exist, where would you be?
Under the new bill, renting to an LGBTQ person is punishable by 7 years in prison. And if the operators of these safe houses are found guilty of promoting homosexuality.
Hey everyone, I was not expecting this. I'm also up against my dear friends, Rob and Eric, in the same category. It's always weird to be up against your friends. Their episodes are also great. I do want to dedicate this to the people that we met while we filmed Black Market Love, that trusted us with their stories. It was a really hard episode to direct. I was an emotional mess the entire time. They shared their stories with such courage, and they were in real danger the entire time, and they still are, unfortunately. Everyone deserves the right to love who they love, to be fully themselves, and to feel safe. Clearly, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done to accomplish that, but I do hope that this film honored even a small part of that truth. Thank you to Mariana Van Zeller, my biggest inspiration. I've never met anyone like her, for your fearless reporting and trust. To the incredible, hardworking, brilliant people at Muck Media, scattered throughout the room. And of course to National Geographic for believing in difficult stories and the people at the center of them. And I gotta thank my family who put up with me being such a mess for the entire time I worked on this story, and also in general. But most of all, I really do want to dedicate this to all the people that we interviewed for this story that shared their lives with us. This one is for you. Thank you.
Amid the celebration, it's important to remember the many friends and colleagues who aren't with us tonight. Let's take a moment to remember those we lost this year.
I had the best time being a journalist. You know, I didn't go to journalism school, and I never really worked. My only experience with broadcasting journalism was CNN.
Our next presenter is the host of Bloomberg Surveillance on Bloomberg Television. Please welcome Lisa Abramowicz.
It's an honor to be here tonight with you. In the news business, you learn that the only constant is change. Even before the age of the 3 a.m. Truth Social post, the news could turn on a dime, and the story you were prepping yesterday isn't the story you can run tomorrow. This year's nominees for coverage in science, climate, health, the arts, and business all produced work that expertly sought to explain ever-changing events. These pieces all make sense of an often senseless world, whether it was a war, or climate change, or chronic pain, or something called a kidfluencer. The ability for journalists to step away from the breaking news and politics and produce deeply reported pieces on the other forces that shape our world should not be taken for granted. So it is a great joy to be able to present the Emmys in the following categories.
The nominees in Outstanding Science and Tech Coverage are AI chatbot sent him spiraling, then he contacted me, More Perfect Union. Character AI, 60 Minutes, CBS News. Inside OpenAI Stargate Megafactory with Sam Altman. The Circuit with Emily Chang, Bloomberg Originals. Robot War, In the Shadows with Jason Bellini, Scripps News. Scam City, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media. The Wired Rainforest, The Whole Story with Anderson Cooper, CNN Worldwide.
And the Emmy goes to Scam City, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media.
Accepting the Emmy, Executive Producer Mariana Van Zeller.
You can see a steel window.
Oh, so when they have bars on the windows?
So everyone jump out.
And we've just arrived. So this is Sri Koko. We arrived in Myanmar.
Nice. Thank you. I have to say a quick hello to my daughters, Ruby and Zora, back home, who are watching. I think their magic fingers worked. And two quick things. One, thank you to National Geographic for continuing to really back us. These are tough stories, challenging ones to pull off, and you guys have always had our back. Traffic may be ending, but we've got some other fun stuff in store, and we really are excited about that. And then to this team, who is just incredibly talented, but also really care deeply about their work, and that combination is really unstoppable. And it's been a great pleasure to be with you guys the last 5 or 6 years. So thank you for this great night. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
The nominees in Outstanding Climate, Environment, or Weather Coverage are Alaska's Vanishing Native Villages, Frontline PBS, Crying Glacier, The New York Times OpDocs, El Flamingo GmbH, Hurricane Helene's Deadly Warning, Frontline PBS, Last Lands, ABC News Live, ABC News, Shark Hunters, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media. We went to the town Elon Musk is poisoning, More Perfect Union.
And the Emmy goes to Shark Hunters, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media.
Accepting the Emmy, executive producer Mariana Van Zeller.
They're near threatened species. And in just one outing, in under 24 hours, they were able to get 36 of them.
Paleta.
First they cut off the fin.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks to our fellow nominees. It's an amazing team. Plunkett just said everything I could ever ask for. It's just a remarkable team that we put together for this series, and I feel very blessed for that. In honor of our female-led series, I want to especially thank the women in my life who've helped get me here. My wife, Erica, without your sacrifices, none of this is possible. I love you. My biggest fan, my mom. My grandma, Alan, bless your heart. My nonna, my sisters, my cousins, all the women bosses, coworkers, fixers, producers, drivers, cam ops, and contributors we've had over the years. And finally, Mariana, who somehow balances being a brilliant correspondent, a company partner, and a mom. As someone once said, the only people on this planet are moms and their children. Thank you.
The nominees in Outstanding Health or Medical Coverage are Drone War Medics, In the Shadows with Jason Bellini, Scripps News. Dr. Sanjay Gupta reports, Pain, It Doesn't Have to Hurt. CNN Health, CNN Worldwide. The Last Lifeline, Fault Lines, Al Jazeera International USA. Switched Before Birth, Impact by Nightline, ABC News Studios, Hulu. The Trank Dope Underground, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media. You might have already fallen for Maha's conspiracy theories, the New York Times opinion.
And the Emmy goes to The Trank Dope Underground, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller.
The needle right now?
Yeah, there's no real heroin in it.
And you just buy it out here on the streets, yeah?
Yeah.
Just fentanyl? You can't find fentanyl anymore? It's just everything's tranked out?
Yeah, a lot of places give out the test strips, and I test a few different things. And some of the things don't even have fentanyl in it. It's just a xylitol.
Wow. There's not much data here.
Thank you. Strong finish for the team here. Just wanted to, echo something that Mariana said earlier. Traffic was an amazing 5-6 years. We were a big team, but a tight team. And, these investigations were some of the most exciting, fascinating, and honestly, creatively fulfilling, work of my career to date. And so while it was bittersweet, I also am left with a profound sense of gratitude for these guys, and just wanted to give a big shout out to the architects of the series, Jeff Plunkett, Darren Foster, Jeff Deal Allen, and of course, Mariana Van Zeller herself. And before I get off, like most of the dads here, I gotta give a shout out to my lovely wife, Dana, my daughters, Iona and Sienna, and if you're not in bed yet, get in there, you got school tomorrow. Thank you, everybody.
The nominees in Outstanding Arts, Culture, or Entertainment Coverage are Born to Be Viral, The Real Lives of Kidfluencers, ABC News Studios. K-Pop, A Star Is Made, The Whole Story with Anderson Cooper, CNN Worldwide. No Laughing Matter, Free Speech Under Attack, The Whole Story with Anderson Cooper, CNN Worldwide. Selena, Beyond the Headlines, Impact by Nightline, ABC News Studios, Hulu. Underground Street Racing, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media. Why concert tickets are so expensive and who's to blame? So expensive, Business Insider.
And the Emmy goes to guess who? Underground Street Racing, Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media.
Thank you very much to the Academy. My name is Sean Johnson, and I am an executive producer at National Geographic. And I have had the honor and privilege of working with this amazing team, Muck Media, to produce this incredible series. As everyone's been saying, it's one of the most profound experiences of my career, of our careers. We are incredibly proud of the stories we've been able to tell and the way we've told the stories, with empathy, with amazing courage, with passion, with dedication, and with the goal of telling the truth. So thank you very much for this award. I think you might be done with us, but we really appreciate this, and it's a great honor. Thank you.
The nominees in Outstanding Business, Consumer, or Economic Coverage are Exposing the Dark Side of America's AI Data Center Explosion, View from Above, Business Insider, Goodbye Price Tags, Hello Dynamic Pricing, The New York Times Opinion, The Great American Rehab Scam, Trafficked with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media, Gutted, Fault Lines, Al Jazeera International USA, The Price of Milk, Immigrants Behind American Dairy, CBS Reports, CBS News, The Zombie Debts Making Wall Street Rich, Bloomberg Investigates, Bloomberg Originals.
And the Emmy goes to The Zombie Debts Making Wall Street Rich by Bloomberg Originals.
Accepting the Emmy, producer Abigail Morgan.
Talked about in a while. At some point we just kind of, we fought and we fought and we fought. And we just kind of threw up our hands.
What do you do when you can't afford to fight it?
Yeah. It's kind of like what they bank on, isn't it? It's what it feels like. People just struggling to make their dreams come true.
Wow. It would have been more convenient if traffic did one again. Sorry, we were sitting up there. Just a quick one to round off. I know it's getting late. Obviously, thank you to Bloomberg for continue to support our amazing documentary work. All the people I work with are so inspiring. Massive thank you to the reporters, Noah, Coulter, Eric, Jason, everybody that kind of was leading this and allowed a massive camera crew to come on a super secretive kind of leaked document story. That's amazing. But I think the most important people to thank are the people that shared their story with us. Some of the stories that they shared with us, they hadn't told their friends or family because of the shame that they had felt. And I hope documentaries like this can redirect that shame from the victims to the people perpetrating this, and that's the lenders and the predatory actors in this story. So thank you so much.
Please welcome to the stage the Senior Director of News at Spectrum Noticias, Maria Rozman.
Good evening, buenas noches. The loud people over there is my team. They got nominated tonight. Congratulations, and congratulations to all nominees and the winners tonight. And it's time for the final categories of the night. Tonight, nominees for recorded and live news programs have navigated a difficult year with depthness and clarity. In the face of war, political upheaval, corporate turnover, and sometimes unspeakable tragedy that impacted the shows itself, these nominees came together, did their jobs, and showed up for each other and for the American people. In that, they exhibited not only a commitment to their viewers, but journalistic fearlessness. Let's begin with the first category.
The nominees in Outstanding Recorded News Program are Nightline, ABC News; CBS News Sunday Morning, CBS News; Traffic with Mariana Van Zeller, Muck Media; The Whole Story with Anderson Cooper, CNN Worldwide.
And the Emmy goes to The Whole Story with Anderson Cooper, CNN Worldwide.
Accepting the Emmy, Executive Producer Susan Chung.
Men who sleep here. It's a cell built for about 70 people. There's one toilet for all 170. It is stifling hot. There's very little ventilation. The conditions are difficult to say the least. All the men here sleep on the floor, and they have to sleep on their sides because there's not enough room for somebody to sleep flat. They're in this room from around 5:30.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for this. I feel like we're still a pretty new show, and so these honors really, it means the world to us. It makes such a difference, so thank you guys so much. Thank you to the Whole Story staff, to the best producers, APs, photographers, editors, reporters, the best anchor, Anderson Cooper. Thank you to everyone who contributes to this show. Special thanks to Jim Murphy, who retired last year after 50 years in the business, but was with us since the beginning, and we could not have done this without you, and we miss you, Jim, every day. And finally, thank you to Amy and Tellis and to Mark Thompson for supporting this show and supporting what we do with long-form journalism. Thank you so much.
The nominees in Outstanding Live News Program are ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, ABC News; Anderson Cooper 360, CNN Worldwide; Good Morning America, ABC News; The Lead with Jake Tapper, CNN Worldwide; NBC Nightly News with Tom Llamas, NBC News; Today Show, NBC News.
And the Emmy goes to ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, ABC News.
Accepting the Emmy, Executive Producer Christopher Diamond.
Aerial efforts right here over my shoulder, Topanga Canyon. 3 days into this disaster, and they are still fighting the fires. Now dropping water from above, you can see the line of retardant. Tonight we take you up in the sky with CAL FIRE as they continue to try to knock down these fires.
Tonight, the extraordinary images from the air. Our first view from above, flying with CAL
Wow. I know we have after parties to go to, so I'll be brief. And there are so many people to thank, especially those who could not be here tonight and who have been on the front lines of our coverage, many physically and many behind the scenes. A special note of work to Esther Castillo, Eric Noel, and of course David, who are on assignment, now shooting our ambitious celebration of America's 250th birthday. This Emmy Award is most cherished because it honors the teamwork and selflessness, the hard work and the passion of the people of World News Tonight, and the extended family at ABC News. Thank you to our leaders, Debra OConnell and Almin Karametovich, who every day inspire with their positivity, their encouragement, and definitely their support. From David covering the tragedies of California and the Texas floods, to Mary Bruce fearlessly pressing Saudi Arabia's Mohammed bin Salman with tough questions on human rights in an unforgettable Oval Office exchange. It speaks to the breadth and talent of the entire team. Thank you for the recognition of that team.
and we go on. Thank you, Anne-Marie and Charlotte, my wife and daughter. Good night.
Yeah, that's it for the news portion of the 47th Annual News and Documentary Emmy Awards. Congratulations to all the winners and nominees. Thanks again to our presenting sponsor, YouTube. And thank you for joining us. Good night and good luck.
In all categories, the News and Documentary Emmy Awards are evaluated by members of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences and other qualified industry peer professionals. Judging is conducted securely online. Prior to announcement, results are known only to the independent accounting firm of Lutz & Carr, LLP. Full competition rules and guidelines are available at enter.theemmys.tv.